point. As far as the major sectors are concerned, we did note that the chips have rebounded. SanDisk and Intel were up 4 points, Marvell and AMD were up 3 points, and Micron was up 2 points. With regard to the Magnificent Seven, NVIDIA and Meta were both up 1 percentage point. On the energy front, though, Oxy, Apache, and Chevron Texaco were down 1%, largely on lower crude prices. On the industrial front, we had Old Dominion up 4%, Generac and RSG were up 3 percentage points. And finally, on the consumer front, McDonald's was up 3 points, but Kimberly-Clark was down 9 points. Smuckers, Nike, and Lululemon were all down 3 percentage points. As far as reports are concerned today, still kind of a light day as far as reports. We had the home price index coming out. We have consumer confidence data coming out, which was important, and new home sales data was being released. Now, for those of you asking the question, why do we focus on these catalysts? Well, from Roger's perspective, anytime there's information that's either known or will become known during today's trading session, but it may not yet be reflected in pricing in the market, well, that's a volatility flashpoint. So if you're looking to trade a stock or an index or a sector that could be impacted by any of these volatility flashpoints, it may give you cause for pause. As far as today's pre-market stock watch list is concerned, Roger gave us 20 tickers to consider, 7 to the short side and 13 to the long side. Now, folks, I do need to point out to you that this is a pre-market stock watch list. This is not a laundry list of stocks that Roger's recommending that you run out and buy. Rather, when he wakes up in the morning and takes a look at the markets, one of the things he looks for is which stocks might look good to him, either short or long. And if any of these tickers mature to the point that he may want to take them during today's trading session, he more likely will take that trade, share it with you in the trading pit or in another one of his premium alert services. As far as the pre-open analysis is concerned, when we got together this morning, we noted that the futures were all up as chip makers were rebounding and bond yields were falling. We did see that the put-to-call ratio, however, was unbalanced, largely highly favoring puts, and that's a pretty big swing from where it was the past couple of days where we were overbought, favoring the calls. We did also note that the VIX was flat and still right below that 16 level. As far as the longer-term momentum is concerned, it was up. 73% of the S&P 500 companies are above the 200-day moving average, and that's up 2 points from where it was yesterday. On the NASDAQ 100, 71% of those companies are above the 200-day moving average, and that's up 1 point from yesterday. With regard to the short-term trend, the 20-day moving average, the S&P 500 was 53% of those companies were above the 20-day moving average, and that's up a full 4 points from where it was this time yesterday. And with the NASDAQ 100, 52% of those companies are above the 20-day moving average, and that's up 1 point from where it was yesterday. So as far as the longer term and the short term momentum is concerned, both of those trending up coming into the session today. As far as the major indexes are concerned, the SPY, the QQQ, the SMH, and the MAGs, they were all mired, really mired and stuck. They looked like fish stuck in a fishing net, right at the 8 and the 15-day exponential moving average, and also on continued low volume. We did note that the bonds were up and they were now outside of their down range, but Roger's concern is, will they hold that position and move higher, or could they easily just fall lower back into that downward range that they've been in for the past several days? As far as the index is concerned, Roger said, look, the indexes are at a crossroads. They're at that no man's land. They're either going to move higher or they're going to move lower. And it looks like institutions in the markets are really waiting on NVIDIA earnings before any major investments happen in the market. And from his perspective, he says a lot's going to be determined over the next 48 hours. And we'll see how the indexes and the markets respond after these big earnings announcements come out. Now, Roger's going to be updating on that, all of that with us in just a few minutes when he joins us here in the room. And to that point, folks, we're glad to have you here today. We've got a nice agenda that's been put together. Roger's going to be talking about things, and he's going to begin by giving us his midday market analysis, and then he's going to give his updated stock watch list for this afternoon. He's also going to share with us relative strength and how he likes to use it in his trading. He's then going to share why it's important to diversify, the importance of a diversification. It's a hallmark of how Roger likes to look at the markets. And he's also going to talk about how you can use spreads to lower the cost on expensive stocks. And then finally, folks, we have a special guest that's going to be joining us today, Tim Bowen, and he's going to be talking along with Roger about the 24-hour payout program. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And remember, folks, I have opened the chat panel to everyone and we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions are allowed whatsoever. And also, folks, try to keep those side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the education and the information that Roger's sharing. Because after all, he's here to give us an edge in the markets and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And so with that, folks, let me go ahead and stop the share. Let's say hi to the team. Let's say, I think Matt is here. I know that Matt is here. Roger hasn't quite joined us in the room, and I like to tease him. He's probably in hair and makeup and just trying to put a few more locks in place. He's got a great sense of humor about that. And there's Matt, and there's Roger. Hey, guys, nice to see you. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How's things going for you so far?
One second. Let me just mute one thing here real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Matt, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. One trade, one winner in the trading zone, so not a bad day.
Excellent. That's terrific. I know you've been patiently waiting for some better price movement, price performance, for things to set up. You got a sharp eye on the market internals. The market internals looking a little bit better today?
Yeah, a little bit. Still not awesome, but gold looks better.
All right, good. Excellent. And I know, Roger, from your perspective this morning, you know, when we were looking at the pre-market briefing, you really kind of liked the way things were looking today. All the indexes were bouncing up kind of nicely. The bonds were also leading the way, but you did have some concerns. You know, will the bonds be able to hold this position or will they drift back in that down range? And I like what you said about the indexes. You said, you know what, Riley, they're all kind of sitting there in no man's land. They're sitting there almost like, am I going to break higher? Am I going to break lower? But you don't expect anything to happen until the big earnings from NVIDIA come out.
Yes. Yeah, that is exactly correct. And I just want to make sure that everybody else got the communication to come in here. So I'm just going to forward this as I usually do. I don't know why customer service doesn't do it, but you know what? I'll do it myself. I like doing things myself, Raleigh. Don't you sometimes? I love doing things myself. And this is the last one I have to do, and then I'll be done, and you guys will have my undivided attention. Okay, there we go. All right, perfect. So what I said this morning, and I want to clarify exactly what I said, and I hope you don't mind. I want to share my screen so I can
go for it, buddy.
It's just easier for me to. And as much as I loved hanging out with Tim the last few days, I really miss you guys, and I really want to get back to my trading. So today, hopefully after today, I'll be back to my normal, you know, my usual shenanigans that I usually do. All right. So what I said this morning was this, and I'll actually look at the same chart. You guys could see what I'm talking about here. All right. SMH. Look at SMH. What I was saying this morning was, I like how we're moving higher, but we're still below the 100-day line, and
right.
and that's a major area right there, and that's something we really want to really want to pay attention to, because this isn't looking great, and we have NVIDIA earnings, and I don't know what's going to happen with NVIDIA earnings, and I'm not going to try to guess, because I have to guess based on expectations, and I have to guess based on performance. But what I will tell you is, and Matt's going to find these numbers for us right now, but I believe NVIDIA fails to outperform about 75 to 80% of the time. Now, folks, please don't go doing time spreads on NVIDIA. That would be the dumbest thing you could be doing right now. Okay, because we don't know what's going to happen, and that CEO is very crafty, and if he says the wrong word or the right word, this stock can go up 10, 20% on a dime. So they're expecting a 6% move. They don't know which way that move is going to go. They do not know which way that move is going to go. Okay, which means we can come right back in here, or we can be coming right back up here. Okay.
The number for NVIDIA, the success rate's only
Yes.
66%.
Oh, so it's actually not as bad as I thought. So they underperform 66% and 44. That's not bad, Matt. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. I thought it was worse. So that's not bad. So 44% of the time, the degenerate option buyers do make money, which 44% is not too bad compared to 20%. Still not. I still wouldn't take that trade, but it's not bad. Thanks for that, Matt.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, what's the implied volatility spread?
It's 1.36 ratio right now.
1.63?
1.36.
Huh. Okay.
Not good. Not good either way there.
No, it's not. And percentage of movement only 66%. So no soup for NVIDIA time spread, but very second to begin with. Okay, I just wanted to see. I wasn't planning on doing an NVIDIA time spread, but it never hurts to check. Like if the number was like, if the number was like 3, implied volatility was like 2.5 to 3, and if the win rate was like 85 to 90%, maybe I would take a little bite at the apple. But the semiconductors are very rough because they've been moving more than anything else and in a very unpredictable way. And as you all know, we've seen some moves of 10, 20, 30%. So we got to be really careful here. Yeah, skipping it is the best for sure. Okay, so what I said was this: SMH below the 100-day moving average. I said mags. Let's look at mags real quick. I said mags have to get above this level. Do you see the mags above this level, or do you see them wicking right at that level?
Mm-hmm. They're wicking. Yep.
They're wicking at that level. They're not breaking through that level. They're wicking at that level, which means they're getting slapped. Okay. Look at QQQ. QQQs can't even get above the 50-day moving average, and it's finding resistance at the 50-day moving average. And as you could see right here, it hasn't really been extremely active the last few days, right? There's just not much here to work with, right? Not much here to work with. So my point is there's just not much going on right now. And folks, I don't want to take a guess on NVIDIA earnings. I don't want to do that. Here's what I think, and just pure speculation. I think they're going to beat everything out of the water, and I think that's going to be fantastic. But I have a huge question mark about the forward-looking statements in terms of how much they're because let me explain. Their CEO may come out and say something less, and I think it's worth spending a few minutes on this because it's a monster. I think their CEO may say something like, "We're growing faster than we even we expected," and while everybody will think that's a good thing, the banks will be like, "No." So that can actually work against them. So it's a complete crapshoot in terms of interpreting what the CEO is going to say. Do you agree with me on that, Raleigh? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Absolutely, Roger. It's just one of those areas where it feels to me, if you get involved with this, it's a pure gamble.
complete and utter gamble.
And
Exactly.
there's better
Exactly.
opportunities out there, but
Way better. Way better. But my point, and I don't know why I got into the whole time spread thing, but I was just curious. I wanted to see. I was even thinking about it this morning. I've been just so busy all day with the new 24-hour payout plan. Which, by the way, thanks for the feedback, folks. It's been really good. I had a session And there was a lot of Tim's folks in there, and a lot of them are not options traders. So they had a more difficult time understanding what a debit spread is and how to put one together. But the big takeaway you should take from that is, if you are nervous about debit spreads, the 24-hour payout is a great way to delve into debit spreads. I showed an example of how you could have done Micron option today that expires tomorrow for like $2,600, or you could, and this was just an example, or you could have done a debit spread for I think it was $100-something. So that's a huge, and I've shown you how there are options that cost $7,000, and you can end up doing a debit spread and paying $200.
Mhm.
So 20 minutes of learning is not that big price to pay to learn something as useful. And Richie, I don't know if Richie's here. I'm not allowed to open the chat for my own good reasons. I get too involved. I get too involved with you guys. But he'll tell you he does a lot of debit spreads, and debit spreads are a great way to save a lot of money, especially on these crazy stocks that are priced over $200, $300, $400, $500.
Yeah, you bet.
So if you want to learn, the 24-hour payout is probably the best. And I was even saying how one of the cool benefits of the 24-hour payout is it's going to force people to learn, because it's the same debit spread every day. And once people can do one, they could do 100 of them. So I think that'll be good. Okay, so a lot of uncertainty in the market, coupled with low volume, it leads us in a place where we really don't want to be. This is the SPY right here, and you could see it could or could not be breaking to the other side. Does it look to you? If I put 100 people here, probably 50 will say yes, 50 will say no. It's literally right on it, but this is not making me feel warm and fuzzy because look at this. Look at that. Look at that. That right there is just consolidation.
Yeah, it is.
It's just chop chop. Okay, it's just chop chop. Now, also, and I want to show you a big picture because I have a full thing dedicated to the SPY because I really like to look at my charts, and I thank God I have the ability to have all these monitors, but I use this stuff. Look at where we're at right now. Look at where we're at right now. Okay. I mean, we're literally, can you get any closer to look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. And look at what's happening right now. Is there anything I need to say here that is not like as crystal clear as possible? Tell me. Does it make sense to you folks? We're finding a lot of resistance at the 8-day EMA, and we're not having a hard time breaking through it, is what I'm trying to say. So the market right now really has no idea what to do. I warned everybody this morning, Raleigh. I said that if I was a market maker or if I was an institutional trader, and I was for many years, the last thing I would be doing is taking a big bet before NVIDIA earnings comes out. That is a sucker play, in my opinion. Okay, that is a sucker bet, in my opinion. That is something I would not do, and I don't expect anyone doing it either. And let's just quickly look at the volume before I get into today's top stocks. Let's look at volume. Let me just look at the day session here. All right, volume, man. Whew. Remember, we've been at like 15,000 every day. Well, we're now at, where's that damn volume? Oh, that's why I'm looking at the 5-minute. Okay. Volume is, okay, now it's at 11 million, Rob. 11. Remember, we've been getting 15 every time I do it here, 15, 16. It used to be 30. Now we're not even, folks, the average daily volume is over 50. Now it's 49 million, but it's about 50. If you look here, it's about 53, 52. And now it's now this is at 12. So
Yeah.
volume is 4 times lower than it should be. Nobody knows what's going to happen with NVIDIA. We got to be really nervous. I mean, we got to be really mindful here of that. Maybe I'm just thinking right now, maybe towards the end of the day, maybe I'll do I'm just thinking out loud that I may want to do a straddle or a strangle end of day today. if volatility stays this way. But wait a minute. You know what? Hold on. Nvidia earnings are tomorrow night, aren't they?
Let me find out.
They're tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure they're tomorrow night. I could check right here. They're not tomorrow morning.
Yes,
They're
people are saying yes, 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 tomorrow night.
So tomorrow we may want to do a straddle strangle on the SMH before if premium is low enough, a straddle or strangle on Nvidia tomorrow before market closes. Not on Nvidia, excuse me, on SMH. On SMH before the closing bell may work. But if ATR is much higher, you know, just FYI, something to think about. A little mental note. Matt, can you put a little? I'll remember. You don't have to tell me that. I'm still okay. Any questions before we move on?
No, I think that's good. Some people are also commenting about Marvell, has earnings on Thursday night, and people are wondering whether we might consider a time spread on Marvell, or is it in the same category?
It's even worse. It's even worse. If I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but go back and look at all the earnings surprises on chip stocks this quarter. 19%, 16%, 8%. They're going crazy. Nothing else is, but they're going crazy. So I think it's just best to stay away. I think it's just best to stay away. And if they weren't going crazy, I would do it. It's a great one to do it on. But I think we're taking on way too much risk this quarter, and it's actually more dangerous. And it's actually more dangerous than Nvidia, and I'll tell you why. Because it has less liquidity. It has less market cap. The more market cap a stock has, think about it, folks. Nvidia is a blue chip stock, right? So just FYI, just FYI. So the more liquidity something has, the more earnings something has, the more liquidity something has, the harder it is to move, because you have too many buyers or sellers in agreement with each other. You understand? So Marvell is actually more dangerous than Nvidia. Nvidia is more like a Dow stock, But again, I don't trust that CEO, and I don't mean trust him in a bad way. He's very frisky. I like him a lot, actually, but he's very, very frisky. And so I just don't want to hear or see Nvidia drop 50 points or 60 points. And we don't need that. We've been doing really good on time spreads. There's really no reason no reason for anything to happen. So there's no reason for us to take unnecessary risk, is what I'm trying to say, folks. Okay, does that make sense, Raleigh? You don't need to take unnecessary risk in this business. Okay, I'm going to go through stocks. Any other questions, Raleigh?
No, I know we're short on time, Roger. We have about 10 more minutes. So
yes.
Let's go through some stocks here. Yep.
SFD to the short side. I like the stock to the short side. MTZ to the short side. Nice look. So it's a funny story. I've been talking about this stock for a long time, right? So this morning, I've been talking about Cirrus Logic now for about a month. So this last night, I set an alert for it. And guess what happened? The alert got hit this morning. And guess what happened? I couldn't get filled on it. There was zero option liquidity on this sucker. Zero. So I literally don't feel as bad that I missed this trade because I could not get filled on it. Let me look at it this right now. Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this volume. There's no volume on these things. So I don't feel as bad. I may just have to short this thing. I may have to just take one for the team and short it. Okay, VFC. Deck. GFS. Capri, I got out of this one. I took a tiny win. The market makers were giving me I'm telling you, they're like mobsters, They're like mobster, these market makers. I had to go to 27 cents on this thing. All right. I had it on 30 cents for an hour and I couldn't get filled. Car. Oh, that's a nice little breakdown there. Oh, they have that's not bad actually. That looks pretty good. Yeah, and it's breaking the 200-day moving average here, which is really nice. Notice a lot of basic material stocks are coming off. ENB. Not bad, not bad. HE. HE. WSO. Industrial stock. Okay, let's go to long side. Merck. I like Merck. I like how it's holding on to this gap. I like Teva. I like TXG quite a bit. I've been liking it for a while. I like Nextera. I like CarMax. CarMax looks pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice daily. CarMax, Roku. Roku looks really nice here. Roku looks really nice here. I'm going to circle Roku. I'm wondering. No, the spreads are nasty. Ugh. Was thinking maybe a diagonal on Roku. I'm always scheming something, Raleigh. You know? I'm always scheming a trade.
Well,
EXP.
the cool thing, Roger, is that you know that there's several ways that you can take the trade. If you like it, it's a function of, okay, so now how am I going to take it?
Exactly. Well, what do I see? What is it about this trade that I like, and what's the best card to play under the circumstances? That's
Yep.
kind of and folks, I'm like subconsciously that's just how I think. Does it look good? What does it look good for? What's the best way to take advantage of it? It's just like just like a card playing cards. You got to play the best hand in life, folks. Life offers you a bunch of opportunities, a bunch of challenges. The key is to play the best hand under the circumstances. And if I taught my kids anything, that's a big part of it. So I still have about 6 minutes left. Do we have any questions? Because I still want to talk about something pretty cool today.
Yeah,
Something I haven't
absolutely.
talked about in a while.
I think these are good. I'm going to go. I just want to make sure on something. Roger, was Cirrus, CRUS, was that the first short that you gave?
No, that was the
Oh,
fourth short. I gave
good.
SFD.
SFD.
I
Okay.
gave MTZ.
MTZ. Okay.
Then I gave CMI.
Okay.
I might have actually missed CMI, but CMI is in there too. And then I got Cirrus, VFC, DEC, GFS, and all that other stuff.
Okay, I got the rest of it. Thanks, Raj.
Okay, no problem. And this one looks pretty good too. By the way, again, industrial stock. There's a lot of industrial stocks coming off right now, so we got to be really mindful. We got to be really mindful of the market right now. Okay, very mindful. Okay. So I want to talk about something that I haven't talked about a lot in a while. I used to talk about it all the time, but I assume that most folks have gotten it by now, so I haven't been talking about it a lot. But what I want to talk about is relative strength. And folks, relative strength it's a really simple concept. Is the S&P stronger than the asset that you're gauging if you're going long? Is it weaker than the asset that you're looking to go short? So if we want to go long a stock, we want a stock to be stronger than the SPY. If we want to go short a stock, we want that stock to be weaker than the SPY. Now, there are many different ways of analyzing this, and I use the Pro Trader dashboard. So for example, just to give you a simple example. So right now I'm looking at CSX, okay? This is my order entry window. Anyway, this is CSX. You see right here, I have right here, when it's green, whatever the stock may be, it's outperforming the SPY. If it's red, it's underperforming the SPY. Now, there are many ways to gauge this. You don't have to buy the Pro Trader dashboard to gauge it. That's the easiest way to do it. But what you could simply do for yourself right now, if you're in a pinch, is you can just go to, say, Microsoft, okay? And let's go to Gramsters, okay? That's all right. So let's just go to compare, okay? And we want to compare to the SPY or SPX, okay? And we're going to apply it right here, okay? And you could see right here what the SPY is doing, what the SPY or the SPX is doing in comparison to Microsoft. So, for example, just to give you a simple example, let me take a screenshot of this, okay? And folks, this was a huge game changer for a lot of folks when I explained this concept to them here. Not charging you a penny for this. Pay attention. So you see how the stock goes up? So let's say that this is the SPY, right? And this is the SPY and this is Microsoft. So let's say the SPY starts doing this right now and Microsoft starts doing this right now. What do you think will happen to Microsoft if the SPY turns around and goes higher? You understand?
Yeah.
Now, let's say, let's delete this example. Let's say that SPY starts right now, and I have no idea what the SPY is going to do, but let's say it starts going up and Microsoft just does this. Is Microsoft strong compared to... Matt, can you hook me up with no caffeine, just a regular one, okay? Yep. Do you think Microsoft is worth buying? No, money's coming into SPY and Microsoft is not doing anything. Okay. Let's say you have to walk all the way here, Matt. Thank you. So now let's say the SPY starts just going sideways, starts doing this. And Microsoft continues moving higher. So now what I just showed you. So for example, stock, let me do this for you. I got another minute or two, right, Raleigh?
Yeah, about a minute.
All right, I'm going to try to do this within a minute. Okay. Here. Relative strength, quick and dirty. Okay. Stock goes up, SPY goes up, relative strength. SPY goes flat. Stock. Stock goes up, SPY goes down. Actually, this is relative evenness here. Stock goes up, SPY goes down. That's relative strength. Okay. Stock goes up, SPY goes flat, relative strength. Now, stock goes down, SPY goes up, relative weakness. Stock goes down, SPY goes flat, not flat, relative weakness. Stock goes down, SPY goes down, relative evenness. Now, I'll expand on this more tomorrow, but I'm going to share this with you. And I hope you guys start learning this and understand that this is the first principle of relative strength and weakness. Let me share it with you. Now, Tim and I are going to do another class in about half an hour. I would say there's going to be a lot of people coming. We're doing it in this room, right, Raleigh?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay, so Raleigh's going to post a slide right now. I'm going to unshare my screen. I shared this link with you. Look at how much we've accomplished in half an hour, folks. It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. Tim and I are going to be live in about half an hour. Please don't go anywhere. This is going to be one of the last sessions we're going to be doing. If you want to see us do it live, if you missed the first one or two we've had, this is a great time to join us. Otherwise, Raleigh we'll see everybody in about 25 minutes or so, right?
Exactly, guys. Sit back, relax. I've got some music ready to go
All
for
right.
you. And Roger, I'll join you and Tim at 10, give you a brief intro, and we'll roll from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And just make sure that Tim has access because he's going to be sharing the slides.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
thing. The week ends, the week begins. She thinks we look at each other, wondering what the other is thinking, but we never say a thing. And these crimes between us grow deeper. Take these chances, place them in the box until they quiet the time. Lights down, you up and down. Goes to visit his mommy. She feeds him well, his concerns he forgets them, and remembers being small, playing under the table and dreaming. Take these chances, place them in the box until they quiet the time. Lights down, you up and down. Driving along this highway, all these cars end up on the sidewalk. People in every direction. No words exchanged, no time to exchange. When all the little lamps are marching, red and black until they're waving. They all do it the same. They all do it the same way. Counting mountains, tempting my thoughts about sweet tooth touch it all by way to last. Program a cup, shame the corners of loose end, cat, cat, on the fence, good night to a fan, cat, 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 take these chances, place them in the box until they quiet the time. Lights down, you're up and down. Lights down, you up and
A Monday warrior, mean, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean, mean pride. Though his mind is not for him, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events. Down the river, what do you say about his gets high on you. When the space he invades, he gets by on you. No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government. Always hopeful yet discontent. Those changes aren't permanent. Oh, changes. And what you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the witness, catch the wit, catch the spirit, catch the spit. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his eyes are wide. Exit the warrior, today's Tom Sawyer. He gets high on you and the energy you trade. He gets right on to the friction of the day.
Sometimes in my bed at night, I curse the dark and I pray for the light. And sometimes the light's no consolation. Blinded by memory, afraid of what it might do to me. And the tears and the sweat only mark my desperation. Don't you know me? I'm the boy next door, the one you find so easy to ignore. Is that what I was
hang out here with you guys a little bit while the music is on.
I tell you, Roger, we went from Huey Lewis to CCR, man. I don't know who on your team is the DJ, but I want to tip my hat to them. A couple great
That's Raleigh.
songs.
Raleigh,
Oh, it
he's
is.
a-
Well done, Raleigh.
He's a professional drummer. This guy knows his music.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Next
Anyway.
time, Raleigh, I want you laying down that CCR track. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoy putting the music together, and I also had some comments from people here in the room, so I made some changes in real time. We had some Rush requests, some CCR requests. It's always good to do that just to put people in the right frame of mind. But you know, guys, I'm going to give you a brief little introduction before we turn things over to you, and I'm excited to be with you today. And folks, really, if you're here, welcome to this special presentation where Tim Bowen and Roger Scott are going to be sharing a brand new way to trade the markets every day using a strategy that has generated, get this folks, 92.3% win rate over the past 15 months. And in this presentation, they're going to share how the strategy was developed, why it's been so successful, and better yet, how we can all get our hands on this same strategy right away in our own trading. Now, my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. But before we get started, we do have some housekeeping guidelines I need to share with you. First of all, if you've got any questions, please type them in the chat panel, and we'll address them as appropriate during and after the presentation. And folks, I've closed the chat room during the presentation, but I'm going to reopen it when we have Q&A. I will, however, be monitoring the chat in real time, and I'll answer any questions that you have that I'm prepared to do. If you ask a question I can't answer, I'll save it and make sure that I pose that to Tim and Roger during the Q&A session. And finally, folks, maximize your screen view so that you can properly see what is being displayed. And with that, folks, sit back, relax, and get ready for a terrific presentation.
Thank you, Raleigh. By the way, Raleigh, when I hit share screen or share my webcam, it's telling me it's denied by the host. So I didn't know if that's something.
Yeah, I will free that up. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do here.
You cannot start your video because it's disabled. There we go. You got her, my man. You got
There
her.
we
All
are.
right,
Sorry
all
about
right.
that, my friend.
No problem. Hey, man, we're live. Shows we're live. So
Yes.
We are live.
so welcome. Thank you for that kind introduction, Roger and or Raleigh, Roger. Thank you for the kind introduction, Raleigh and Roger. Nice to see you back. So, guys, before we get started, one quick friendly reminder: profits and performance shown are not typical. Now, we make no future earnings claims, and you may lose money. The majority trades expressed are from historical, back-tested data, unless otherwise stated. Now, in order to demonstrate the potential of the system, over the last 15 months, the average winning return per day would have been $523 profit based on a $3,500 starting stake, with an average daily ROI net of winners and losers at 7% per day and then 92.3% accuracy rate. Now, every example is based on that same starting investment unless otherwise stated. However, trades can be taken with less than $100. The method has been traded live since August 6th, which you will see some real-time examples of today. Now, we cannot guarantee any specific future results, as there's always a high degree of risk involved in any trading. See our terms on the homepage for more information. And as always, guys, I think all of you probably know this, but in trading, there are losing trades, okay? No system or strategy prints out winning trades 100% of the time. The purpose of our work is to give folks an edge in the markets. You should not be trading with money you cannot afford to lose. So that being said, again, Raleigh introduced me, but I'd like to introduce myself again. My name is Tim Bowen, and today I want to invite you to test out my next big breakthrough, actually for free. Just released this really just a couple weeks ago, and we're going to give you guys a sneak peek. Well, not a sneak peek, but actually get access to it today. Now, it's an entirely new way to target income opportunities of $250, $500, or even $1,000 plus each week, all off the back of a systematic code designed to help us flag what could be winners literally all day long, kind of bell-to-bell trades. Now, you see, if you've been paying attention this last week, then you know that I just partnered up with Roger Scott, America's #1 options trader, to bring you a daily income method target around $500 overnight. And placing our trade at 10 a.m. Eastern each morning, and then let it automatically take care of itself from there, usually hitting the target in the first 24 hours. And so far, it's been crushing it. Like the most recent hot streak of this one over July and August. Now, this is just, recently, okay? It's still August right now. Markets were up, down, and then a lot of flat. Most of the month really been flat. Now, anyone following along would have gone on a 17 trade hot streak of $529, $500 plus, $500 plus again, $525, $535, 500 plus again, 500 plus again, 500 plus again, 552, 541, 529, 548, 529 again, 535, 561, 541, 525, and all over that 17 trade stretch would have added up to over $9,000 in profit. Now, I know that for some of you guys, a win streak like that might feel like a stretch or even completely out of reach. But I want to assure you guys, what we're showing you today is really not that uncommon at all for this system. In fact, so far from the study, we've watched these daily opportunities hit with up to a 92.3% accuracy. Now, that's on over 300 plus trade signals. So with that in mind, it really shouldn't shock you that we've seen win streaks of, 22 trades in a row, 28 trades in a row. We even caught one stretch this year that stacked up 48 in a row without taking a single loser, with each trade paying out right around $500 in roughly 24 hours. You saw that when I showed you that 17 trade streak. I mean, crazy consistent. But then I got to think, what if there was a way to stack on even more income opportunities during the day, even after that daily 10 a.m. trade goes out? That's exactly what I want to show you guys today. Now, if you were here, Roger and I first announced this on Sunday. Maybe some of you were here. This is brand new. Stick around. You haven't seen this yet. We did not talk this. This is something new we got for you guys. Now, if you're here for the first time, good, well done. You showed up at the right place at the right time. Now, it's an entirely new way to target income opportunities of $250, $500, or even $1,000 plus each week. And for anyone trading the 24-hour payouts with me, I'm going to give you guys it for free. Just kind of sweeten the pot for all of you that are taking advantage of this. That way we can live trade these together, beta test it before it's even released to the public. This is brand new, just a couple weeks old. The general public doesn't have access to it. So if that sounds appealing to you, stick around because we have a lot of ground to cover today. So guys, get the notepads out, get the coffee ready, close all the distractions. We got a lot to go over. I want you guys focused because we need to walk you through this hidden daily gold mine. And we call it the 24-hour payout plan. And like I mentioned ago, my name is Tim Bowen. Now, you guys might know me, maybe you don't. You might recognize me from some of my trading programs at Stocks to Trade, which have reached over 150,000 people worldwide. Or maybe you've been to one of my live trading seminars or read about me in the Digital Journal. Digital Journal kindly referred to me as one of the most trusted voices in day trading for investors across America. I still thank them for that. Very kind. Or maybe you've used one of my trading algorithms, which cost us over $1 million to design, and has managed an 82.5% win rate across more than 7,700 trade signals. Now, given my track record, I don't normally team up with other experts, kind of a lone wolf, okay? But after stumbling upon a major breakthrough and then finding the market anomaly behind it, I knew I had to partner with an expert, okay? I discovered the anomaly, but like the mechanics of it, I fully didn't understand how to actually capitalize on it. Like, I had the idea, but how do we capitalize? So ultimately, I went looking for an expert to make that dream turn into a reality. An idea is one thing, not going to make much money. A trading strategy, that's different. So I found the guy, and a lot of you might know him, or maybe you're meeting him for the first time, but that man is none other than Roger Scott, the head trader at Trading Pub. Now, Roger He's one of the smartest and most diligent traders I've ever worked with. That's why I sought him out. And not only does his work as a former hedge fund manager speak for itself, running two multi-million-dollar funds, but his trading partners also include the current economic advisor to the president, the top economist at Columbia University, and the youngest turtle trader. I'm a big fan of the turtle traders. Love Ed Psycho, the turtle traders book. But he's even managed money for one of the wealthiest families on the planet. And listen, you don't get there by accident. But for the past few years, his focus has ultimately shifted, spending his time teaching people the art of trading. And if you've been following his work, then you probably know him from his flagship program called the Trading Pit, with a 94.6% win rate across over 500 live alerts, and from which we've been hearing hundreds, if not thousands, of success stories from his top students. Like, actually, let me mute my speaker, guys. Sorry about that beep that went off. That's let me grab that. There we go. Oh, so we've been hearing all these thousands and hundreds of success stories from some of his top students, like Stephen, who says, listen to Roger and following his trades have helped me tremendously. Start out with $5,000 and now I have over $15,000. Estimated time frame of just 3 months. Patrick says, thanks for all you do, Roger. I was able to make $60,000 in just 3 months. And David A says, I just hit 200% on my account this year. Look at my performance compared to the overall market, all these single digit percents there. But today we're joining forces to ultimately take things to the next level. And we're looking for a new way to target $500 each and every day the market's open from any regular brokerage account. So that being said, Roger, I've talked enough. I want to thank you and welcome you in. Thank you for joining me on this mission. So why don't you show kind of everyone what exactly we've been working on?
Well, thank you, Tim. I'm really excited to be here, and I cannot wait to hear from everyone in this room once they start with the 24-hour payout plan, which they started today, and we're off to a good start. Today, we want to empower you. We want to show you how in just a few minutes of your time and a couple of clicks inside your brokerage account, you could set up your very own 24-hour payout plan inside the stock market. It's all thanks to a market anomaly that's shown the power to pay $500 on average in income each day when things go as planned. And the timing of this brand new briefing, it really couldn't have been any better. Right now, some of the hardest working folks are getting destroyed by inflation. That's why we saw the average savings account hit the lowest level since 2008. And if you got a raise last year, well, it probably doesn't feel like it's making much of a difference at the end of the day. And that's left folks looking anywhere they can to generate extra income to cover their bills. Of course, most folks think that the only way to generate extra income is by picking up a second job at Walmart, Uber driving, working overtime, late weekend nights, all sorts of stuff. But we'll be able to show you guys today, anyone can start targeting the extra income within the next 24 hours right from the comfort of your sofa. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in your account or you're like some of our students who are just starting out. All you need is a standard brokerage account, an internet connection, and a few minutes to set the trade each and every day. And as you'll soon see, it doesn't matter if we're in a bull market, bear market, or a full-blown recession. Our trade was designed with the power to pay in both the best of times and the worst of times. For example, let's take a jump back to March of this year. Now, if you don't remember what took place in March, we'll just say it was a rough time for most investors. Between rising costs of living and war breaking out, that left investors skittish, and the stock market, well, let's just say it was curling a bit, okay? Dropping 10% by the end of March into, you guessed it, correction territory. Now, let's say someone had $3,500 invested. That's the amount we'll be referring today with each examples to keep things simple. In the first week of March, folks invested in the S&P would have lost money. A few $100 at least. But within the 24-hour payout plan, they could have seen a much, much different story. Monday, March 2nd, said to trade that day. Come back, $567 a few hours later. Tuesday, March 3rd, take a quick moment to place the trade. and $529 in 24 hours. Wednesday, March 4th, exactly the same story. Another 500 plus overnight. Thursday, March 5th, place the trade in a regular brokerage account. Come back to $560 on a choppy market move. Friday, March 6th, hit a few buttons to jump in, and then find an extra $554 in your account over the weekend as the whiplash continued. After those 5 consecutive trades, that could have been an extra $2,740 hitting your account that week alone, all from taking the same basic trade at the same time every single day. And it was the same story the next week. Now, this week was another ugly one for the market. Don't get me wrong. Global tensions escalated stock market. It looked like a roller coaster. But folks following the 24-hour payout plan, there was no need to even look at the charts. All you had to do was set the same trade on the same ticker at the same time each and every single day. Monday over 500, Tuesday over 500, Wednesday over 500, and Thursday over 500. And guess what? Over 500 on Friday again. That's an equal to 5 for 5, $263 in your pocket. What's not to love?
2,639. You left off a zero though, brother.
Excuse me, $239 in your pocket. I'm so sorry. You're right.
Now, Roger, let's think about that for a moment. Since the pandemic, the cost of living has gone skyward. Okay. It's out of control. And really, I don't see anything going back. In fact, over the last few years, we've watched as the average cost of a new mortgage went from $1,400 all the way to over $2,100 a month. That's a $700 increase every single month. And it's not like people have a lot of extra change laying around to cover the difference either. Now, not unless you're already well off and sitting on a pretty good nest egg to begin with. But anyone who would have taken advantage of the 24-hour payout plan could have more than covered the cost of that average monthly mortgage increase without needing to slave away at a desk job, working extra hours, nights, and weekends to make it happen. Instead, you could have done what I love to do: hunt, fish, travel, and done it all with just a few clicks each day, and then enjoy life to the fullest. Now, folks, if you're skeptical, hey, I like it. You have every right to be. Trading can be hard. And that's because there's so many variables you have to get right. You have to pick the right ticker. Okay, then you have to time the entry. Then you have to time the exit. And then you got to be right on the direction. And there's all these variables. If any one of those variables misses the mark, well, the trade loses. But with the 24-hour payout plan, you don't actually have to stress about any of that. In fact, with that market anomaly that we're tapping into, the margin for error is so wide that it's kind of hard to be wrong. Now, we'll explain a bunch more in a second. Make sure you guys stick around and you're taking notes. But it's the reason we've seen a 92.3% accuracy rate so far from the study. And in most cases, markets go higher, lower, or even nowhere over the next 24 hours. Yet we still have a shot to collect our $500 daily payout. For example, back in the beginning of June, just a few weeks ago. Now, in this case, the market didn't fall double-digit percentage points, but trading conditions, far from ideal. I mean, look at that chart, pretty ugly. With the new Fed chair promising to keep rates higher for longer, it created a stretch of very volatile days. Now, most traders typically avoid that type of volatility, but with the trade we're using, it doesn't really matter all that much. Market can go higher, it can go lower, or it can even stay flat over the next 24 hours. Yet each scenario still allows us to target our 24-hour payout. For example, look what happened on June 1st. In this case, markets tick slightly higher overnight. And for our trade, it would have been enough movement for anyone to bank a $556 payout in under 24 hours. Then the next day, Tuesday, June 2nd. This time, the market actually fell overnight, dropping about 1% during that time. But again, it did not matter for our trade, and folks could have automatically pocketed $500 plus. And then the next day, June 3rd, markets bounced around, going nowhere fast. So we had an up market, we had a down market, now we got a sideways market. Over that stretch, investors made next to nothing. But with the 24-hour payout plan, that would have been worth another $500. And one more just for fun. Let's look at June 4th. This time the market got absolutely hammered overnight, falling 3%. I mean, that's a big move. Now, most people would absolutely panic, and justifiably so, when they saw price action like that. But for us, it wouldn't have even made a dent in our portfolio. In fact, anyone could have still walked away with an extra $554.
Oh, excuse me. Well, Tim, despite the market posting four very different outcomes, our trade would have handed out four different winners, all while every major index, bond, crypto, and even gold were in the toilet. The S&P, the Nasdaq, everything was in the toilet. Now, I don't want to sound too cheesy or anything like that, but I think we can all agree that it would have been pretty sweet to see an extra $500 hit the account each day over that stretch. One day, maybe cover dinner with some friends. Next day, maybe play a round of golf at the top course. Next time you're here, Tim, I got to take you to the neighborhood. We got some really fancy schmancy golf courses around here.
Yeah, I tell you, like I said, there's beautiful. I stayed at TPC Sawgrass, but I was just too busy. We had too much going on. Next time, I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, next, grab tickets to your favorite ball game or concerts. Or maybe that's $500 each day that could have helped knock down that never-ending cycle of bills. However folks would have wanted to use that money, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like having a side hustle, but without putting in the extra hours.
Now, Roger, listen, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Now, of course, if you have a job, guys, we're not telling you to call your boss and quit. Okay. This is, again, don't do that. Okay. Be smart. Now, if you've been steadily saving for retirement, don't stop that either. Okay. Think about the future. But what we're sharing with you guys today is a brand new way to pad your income stream. So, like Roger said drive an Uber or DoorDash or something like that. Do this instead. Now, it's a technique that I don't think anyone else is using. I discovered the anomaly. Roger helped me implement it. And it's why we're teamed up and so excited about this brand new project. That's why we're basically on a mission here. Now, today we want to show you guys how to unlock the daily income opportunity that's hidden within that document. And we're all started with the next trade we'll be taking together live on camera, so that you can begin targeting the newest $500 opportunity within the next 24 hours. Okay. 24 hours. We're not talking about something coming this fall or something. Now, before we show you how it all comes together, first you have to understand what this market anomaly is that's driving it all. Now, guys, this is where I really want you to pay attention, take notes. Take a look at this chart. This is dating all the way back to 1993 through this year. What you're looking at is the total market return from owning the S&P 500 during the day, 9:30 to 4 Eastern, versus owning it overnight. Now, that red arrow there, I know it's really hard to see, but there is a red area. Yeah, it's there. Trust me. Some of you guys might be on your phone and you'd be like, where is it? Well, guys, the reason you can't see it is that red area is showing in the net return from holding the S&P during the market hours, 9:30 to 4, almost imperceptible. Now, if you're squinting or having a hard time seeing it, I don't blame you. I can barely see it either because it's scaled relative to the other line. Now, it's that's because the net return from owning stocks during the day is so small that it barely even appears relative to that other line. However, that green area is what we're here to talk about. That green area is the net return that happened when the market was technically closed overnight. Now, so you can clearly see there's almost no money to be made during holding the day. I mean, it's there. It's just really hard to see, as the stock market has been mostly flat from market open to market close, 9:30 to 4. All the best returns have come overnight, ultimately in the 24-hour markets. And that, my friends, is what I discovered. That's where the opportunity all begins. And that's where I had to come to Roger to help me implement. And by taking the same trade on the same ticker at the same time, before the markets close each day, we've been able to get in front of this overnight anomaly to target $500 each and every day the market is open, $500 plus, usually hitting our payout within 24 hours, often even less. Now, for example, back on Monday, June 29th, folks get to place a trade before the markets closed. Sure enough, markets gapped up overnight like they usually do on a lot of days. And anyone following along could have come back to an extra $529 automatically posted in their account. Then on Tuesday of the same week, June 30th, taking the trade before the markets closed, no surprise, markets gapped up again, racing higher, and there was another opportunity to hit a $500 plus daily goal by the following opening bell. Then on Wednesday, same story, set the trade to take advantage of this market anomaly, came back to another $529 by the next morning. Even as the stock market went on to stall out for the rest of the day, as it often does in a lot of afternoons. Then on Thursday, folks could have set their trade that day, came back to $531 as the markets moved higher by the next open. And for Friday of that week, well, market was closed to celebrate for the long 4th of July weekend. But anyone, even with just 4 trading days, could have really enjoyed that weekend, okay? And if you follow along, you would have been able to enjoy the festivities with an extra $2,240 in hand, just 4 trading days that week. Now, here's the thing. This data has been around for years. Proven overnight trading is where the money's at. But up until now, no one I know has been able to regularly profit from it. And here's why. Traditionally, as traders, we need big moves, right? How you can make money unless you got a big move to make any kind of meaningful returns. And unfortunately, this market anomaly only lends itself to tiny moves of 0.044% on average for each overnight session. That's the anomaly I detected. Now, how do we make money? Okay. It's not enough movement to get me excited. And I don't want to wait 30 years at 0.4% a day, okay, to see a half decent return either. But just recently, I began to wonder, what if there was a way to actually amplify that move within these overnight moves and do it using options? Setting up our trade in a manner that's not relying on a massive move to see our payout, where even the smallest overnight moves could give us a shot at meaningful income up to 5 times per week, every day the market's open. And that, my friends, is when I reached out to an expert, looked around a lot, and I called in Roger Scott to help me fulfill this mission. Now, many of you guys know him. Maybe you're meeting him for the first time, but he may very well be known as America's #1 options trader with an audited 90% plus win rate on over 500 live trade signals. And when he showed me what he's about to show you guys, I almost fell out of my chair. Because not only was he able to turn the most boring overnight moves into consistent $500 opportunities, but he was able to do it in a manner where even on some of the worst overnight drops, would have still hit our $500 daily goal with ease, allowing us to automatically nail our payout, even in many cases when the market, quote unquote, went against us. And by doing so, helping eliminate most of the risk that comes with options trading. So that being said, Roger, show them the magic that you showed me.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to, Tim. Now, folks, we've been able to take this overnight market anomaly and pair it with a little-known phenomena buried deep inside the options markets. It's one that's been studied by Harvard, Yale, and even Charles Schwab got in on it. I don't know how. Legendary hedge fund managers like Aikman and Icahn regularly use it to grow their account. Billionaire Ken Griffith, Mr. I'm going to take my entire company to Disney World because I'm so rich, uses it to catapult himself to the top 50th wealthiest people on this planet. And is anybody surprised that Nancy Pelosi's in on it? I mean, is anybody here surprised? She's got she gets into the best trades. So with this phenomena, it's so much easier to win. It really is. Now, if you're not familiar with options, don't worry. You don't need to understand all this to take advantage of the 24-hour payout plan. Now, I'm going to walk you through it because I want you to have that light bulb moment just like we did. You see, when I say options, most people think of buying options on hopes that the stock rallies higher. The problem with buying options that way that most people do is they don't tend to pay off often, even when they do go in the right direction. Tim and I were talking about it. Nothing more frustrating than have something go your way and you're still not making money. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Yep.
And that's because with most options out there, you need a big move on the stock to start making money. Now, which, as Tim showed you, doesn't happen all that often these days. Used to happen all the time before the night session started. But after the global market started, all the good stuff happens overnight. It's how it's been. And that's why studies like the one done in the Chicago Mercantile CME reported that 76% of options expire worthless. In another report, a contributing writer at the Financial Post studied options extensively. He found that up to 90% of all option buyers actually lose money on their trades at expiration, even if they're right about the underlying move. And in the instances where you're on the wrong side of the move, which is, as we know, does happen, that leaves most options trader losing everything. However, with the technique we're using in the 24-hour payout plan, we're not simply going out and buying options like most people do. We're not doing that. We're not buying lotto tickets hoping they'll eventually become the big win. Instead, we're leveraging the options where the strike price is well below the current price of the stock. That means the options will behave much like the stock. The options are already profitable and quietly getting more valuable every minute of the day. And get this, because the options are so far in the money, we don't need a big directional move to make money on the trade. We don't have to worry about the market flatlining. In fact, we still can hit our $500 daily goal even when the market goes against us in the overnight session. And that's because with the options we're using in the 24-hour payout plan, we set up the trade in a specific way that'll pay us as long as the stock stays above our strike price. For example, like with the next trade in July, Monday, July 6th. In this case, the markets could have gone to the moon, chopped around sideways, or it could have gone slightly lower and still hit our 24-hour payout. In this case, the market did bounce around a bit, dropping about 0.5% overnight, but it never came close to our strikes. And anyone following along could have caught another nice payout of over $500 overnight. How about the next day, Tuesday, July 7th? Again, the markets would have gone up, down, flat, doesn't matter. With the 24-hour payout plan, it was set up in a way that will pay us as long as the stock stays above our strike price. Again, this time the markets fell overnight. Yet folks could have still walked away with over $500 overnight. How about the next day, Wednesday, July 8th? This time the market jumped higher overnight, like they usually do on a daily basis. And folks could have locked in an easy $529 winner from that move. Then on Thursday, July 9th, same story. Another 500 plus payout. Now, of course, as we've said a few times today, no strategy wins all the time. Do I ever take a loser? Of course I take losers. I take losers all the time, constantly. Okay. You ever heard of the best book in trading? It's called Best Loser Wins. It's not called
it's a great book.
it's-
Highly
it's-
recommend that.
It's
Great
not called
book,
Best Winner Wins. It's called Best Loser Wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I think the 24-hour payout plan really, really shines the most. Once we enter a new trade, we immediately set it in place an automated profit target, meaning once our trade is set, there's nothing left for us to do. This allows us to automatically book our winners much faster, sometimes even the same day. And better yet, it allows us to hit our $500 payout, even some of the worst case scenarios where the markets tumble hard and eventually finish below our strikes. For example, like the next day, Friday, July 10th, 24-hour payout. Even though we had tons of buffer room on our strikes, this time the market plunged north of 1% overnight. Now, for most traders, that's a catastrophic nightmare. But not for the 24-hour payout plan. With the automatic profit target in place, folks could have hit the payout all the way back there, and enough to have booked over $500 in only 4 hours after placing the trade. And I can keep going on and on and on. Take a look at what happened the following week. Anyone could have placed a quick moment to place the trade Monday, July 13th. And I showed you guys this morning when we did our class, it takes less than a minute to place the trade, maybe 30 seconds. And then had some friends for coffee, knowing that their options were set to go to work for them, even in this ugly scenario. In this case, the target would have hit the next day, and folks could have walked away with an extra $529 hands-free. Then on Tuesday, folks could have set the trade that morning, and then maybe hit the gym that day, and grabbed sushi for dinner, with the trade set to take care of itself from there. And to no surprise, checked in the next day to see another $500 plus overnight payout right at the market open. How about the next day? Wednesday, July 15th, you set the trade. Back to the desk job for your grind. And again, while most people were watching their accounts bleed the following day, anyone, thank you, sir, anyone following along with the 24-hour payout plan could have seen a much, much different result. Over $500 by 10:20 in the morning. And no, not with our daily trade. We're not leveraging some sort of crazy complex options to make this happen. This is one of the most basic options you could take. I showed you guys today. Very simple, very straightforward. We're not selling credit spreads, and we're not doing naked puts. This strategy has less risk, and I'm not kidding, than a covered call, okay? Less risk than a covered call. And I could prove it to you. Those can be fine strategies to use, high win rate, but in my experience, they have a little more risk than we want to in this stage in the game. And one trade can wipe out a lot. It's called walking up the stairs and falling down. You don't want to put yourself in that position.
Always reminds me of one of my favorite game shows on The Price is Right. It's Minor 49er, as he's going up and then he hits the cliff. Yep.
Yeah. One trade and you're done. Instead, I like it when high probability trades and great returns when they cross paths, when they intersect, when we can still see our $500 payout even on less than favorable market moves like we do here. For example, let's look at what folks could have seen the next day, Thursday the 16th. As always, anyone could have set their trade in the morning with plenty of buffer room to the downside. At this time, the market dropped like a sinking ship overnight, north of 2% on the decline. Most popular option strategies, forget it, Charlie, but not us. In fact, it would have actually hit the profit target all the way back there. And again, over $500, enough to bank that amount in 35 minutes, folks. That's pretty fancy schmancy. And you wouldn't have to worry even if for a second about what might come next. Then on Friday, July 17, folks could have placed a trade in the morning and then, hit the beach here in Florida, right across the street. It's a shame, Tim, you were right across from the beach and for 2 days and you couldn't even go there to enjoy. Next time.
Yeah. My wife spent a lot of time at the pool, but yeah, we were working too hard, brother. When I landed, we went straight to work. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. But next time, maybe the golf course, or just knock some things off your to-do list like I was doing last couple of days. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't really matter. Once the trade was set, your job was done. This time the market popped ever so slightly after the weekend, which happens sometimes on Mondays, but it was more than enough to hit our payout right at 9:35, just 5 minutes after the market closed with the automated target in place. And it didn't matter one bit that the market went on to tumble for the rest of the day.
Now, Roger, I absolutely love what we've been able to accomplish here. Mission accomplished, okay? And I hope you guys are having the same light bulb moment, just like we did when we put this together. Again, I had the idea. Roger was the implementation guy. Like we were both thinking about it, but until they were combined, it didn't manifest. And basically, him and I had a light bulb moment. So hopefully you guys are as well. By simply aligning our daily trade with the anomaly behind these overnight moves, using options that are already well below the current price of the market to help amplify our daily potential, we've been able to flip even some of the smallest moves into payouts worth right around $500 each day, including many occasions where the stock market actually dropped overnight. And by sticking with a plan, we've seen firsthand how these daily income opportunities can really stack up fast. For example, in January, anyone following the 24-hour payout plan could have gone 18 for 19 on the daily trade, walking away with an extra $5,600 for the month. And in February, wouldn't have been far off from that. 15 for 19. And that's an extra $4,510 in the bank, net of winners and losers. That's winners and losers together. Now, March, different month, but kind of the same story. 20 for 22 on the daily trade and $5,246 on the 24-hour payout plan. Then April and May, well, folks sort of hit it out of the park with the 24-hour payout plan. A perfect month in April with worth an extra $10,000 from the daily trade. And then in May, another perfect month, back-to-back months. And that may would have been total up an extra $10,794 in income, which isn't far from what a lot of our top students have been saying across our work recently. Jeanette says, I'm up $13,000 year to date so far. Thank you. More than making my goal of $500 plus per day. You guys have changed my life. Jason, before I joined, I was a losing trader. Now I'm averaging $8,000 to $10,000 a week for the past 3 months. Mark, another quick $4,875. Thank you so much. And Jeff, you make trading fun. Started with a small account of $2,500. It's now over $16,000. And that's why today we're inviting everyone in this room to get started with these daily opportunities. Now, guys, if you fall in the everyone category, which I'm thinking you do, I'm talking to each and every one of you. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't care where you live. Okay. I don't care if you're young, old, male, female, none of that matters. Today, you can start using this brand new method to target extra income right away, up to 5 times per week, basically every day the market's open, just by subscribing to the brand new daily income service. And it's called the 24-hour payout plan. Okay. I think it's a great name because it matches exactly the plan. Now, FYI, guys, we do have a special surprise. I did tease this in the beginning. You did not see this Sunday. Okay. If you were here Sunday when Roger and I revealed this, we got a new surprise for you today. Now, this program is solely dedicated to targeting extra income every 24 hours, thanks to a new way to actually amplify this overnight market anomaly. And I'm happy to verify, after analyzing over 300 plus trades, the final study shows that it's small account friendly. Most of you guys are probably getting started. Small accounts are good. I tell people, even if you have a lot of money, start out small, minimize your risk. Actually, an $85 average position size, a $500 average target, 290 winners out of 315 trades, and a 92.3% success rate. And the best part is there's built-in risk management. So in just a moment, we'll show you just how incredibly powerful that can be over the course of a full year. But before we do, if you take one of the limited memberships available today, every single day, we'll give you our very best 24-hour payout opportunity. One that we would personally recommend to our closest friends and even family. Now that's 250 opportunities each and every year. Each one based on the same method that targets $500 on average 5 times per week. And we'll be holding nothing back. In each 24-hour payout alert, we'll break it all down for you, step by step by step. The ticker, when to place the trade, time, okay? The options criteria, entries, exit targets, it's all in there. Everything you need. Each income alert will have clear instructions on actually how to place the trade. So at the end of the day, we do all the heavy lifting to find each income opportunity. You just read each alert and follow along if the trade works for you. Just like what happened recently, real recently, on August 11th. Members would have seen that trade alert in their inbox right around 10 a.m. All the alerts come right about 10 a.m. And even though the market looked like a bag of garbage at that time, in that nasty August slump, anyone who took the trade could have come back the next day and noticed an extra $535 sitting in their brokerage account. And don't feel like you need to be sitting next to your computer all day long either. We'll post the trade every day right around 10 a.m. on the portal, in your email, and we actually even have mobile messaging. So you'll have plenty of time to get in before the closing bell rings. And guys, all you need, standard brokerage account. Obviously, you need an internet connection. And then the best part, you just need a few minutes each day to set the trade. And we want your experience with the 24-hour payout plan to be literally as hands-free as possible. That's why alongside the email and the webinar portal, we'll also be including cell phone push notifications and Telegram alerts. So while you're out and about, you can still take advantage. For example, like the very next day, you'd have gotten that email or that notification wherever you wanted to sign up for it, taken the trade if you choose, and sure enough, anyone who would have gotten in on this one could could have pocketed an extra $561 in extra cash automatically. And yes, we'll be keeping track of the 24-hour payout plan performance for you so you can easily see how good your results look compared to the S&P 500.
Now, Tim, that's right. We're doing everything we can to make sure that the new members have everything they need to succeed. Now, I know not everyone has traded options before, and if that's you, don't worry. Once you get the hang of it, it's no difference than riding a bike. I did a session this morning. We're doing the same thing every day. It's really straightforward. It's not difficult. And again, with our trade, we're using one of the most basic options that you can possibly do. It's just a two-legged position. Regardless, to help you hit the ground running, we're going to include a getting started options guide. It'll have everything A to Z recorded. This training will include how to set up the trade we're taking each day in the 24-hour payout plan, how to use the right order, get the best fill, and even set up automated exits for our daily profit target. Now, of course, regardless of how good the research results show, not every trade is going to work out. So you should never risk more than you can afford to lose on any one single trade. And luckily, you don't have to. You can take the 24-hour payout with less than $100 on average. And as a matter of fact, you could take it with $84, $85. That's the average price for one contract. And if you're starting small, that's okay. You can always start small and scale over time. And here's where it gets even more impressive. After extensive research and testing, Tim and I developed a rule set to only isolate the most optimal options for entry. Not just entry, we also optimized the exits too. Now, the details are simply too much information to cover today, and we wouldn't give it away for free anyways. But let me just tell you this. With the small tweak we made on our exit strategy, not only were we able to increase the profit factor by nearly 50%, all the way to 2.75, which means for every dollar you lose, you make $2.75 over time. But we were also able to cut the size of the losers in half, drastically reducing our risk.
And Roger, when you stack that up over a course of a year, I mean, the results are undeniable. In fact, looking at all of the trade data, over 300 plus signals in total, including both winning days and losing ones too, anyone starting out with just $3,500 in each trade, for example, would have been averaging an extra $75,000 in extra income per year. Now, let me say that again. After trading through all types of market conditions, bearish, bullish, sideways, good economies, bad ones, mediocre ones, the data is showing an extra $75,000 per year, and that's with zero compounding. And when you compare that average annual income to the S&P 500 during the same time period, it's not even close. I mean, this is a bar chart versus that line chart we showed you earlier, but it's kind of the same story. You're probably looking at this and you're like, okay, where's the S&P 500 return? It's just so small that it barely registers, okay? $354 per year versus $75,000 per year with the 24-hour payout plan. So here's the thing. With that type of data and edge in the stock market, I'm sure we could sell this as an elite service for $2,995 per year, probably higher, okay? People would buy it. Be no problem at all. But we have teamed up and we have something much better in mind. Ultimately, our goal, Roger and I share this exact same goal. It's one of the reasons I partnered up with. We want to see our students pay off the membership fee as soon as possible. That way, you're getting straight to the icing on the cake without having to worry about the cost of the program. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer some bonuses, okay? The first one is the 24-hour payout plan charter membership discount. Now, we did launch this Sunday. I flew home yesterday. We wanted to give you guys one more chance to get that charter membership.
And folks, Tim got home at 2:30 in the morning, and look at him today. This guy's like a battery, you know? It's amazing. I love your energy, Tim. Very, very good.
Very, very unhealthy amounts of caffeine and nicotine. Did you know, Roger, did you know that the great man John Daly once said nicotine plus caffeine equals protein? That's a John Daly quote. But anyway, I'm a firm believer in that. So that being said, my friends, we're still offering some charter membership discounts. Now, today we want to invite all of you guys, all 800 of you, to grab one of those charter memberships in the 24-hour payout plan. Now, while I know that even at $2,995 per year, this is a great value. I mean, look at the result. $75,000 a year, $29.95 kind of makes sense, right? And I also know that shelling out $3,000 right now, still quite a bit of money. I mean, we talked about the cost of living expenses. I landed last night. Gas is cheaper in Florida. It's $4 back to $4.50 here in Michigan. I was like, whoa. So shelling out $3,000 right now, I mean, it's a lot of money. But for those charter members, which includes you guys that joined today, it's not going to be $2,995 for the year. We're going to knock $1,000 right off the top, taking it off the membership fee. And then if you join today, before that next trade goes out tomorrow morning, we're going to take another $1,000 off, which will slash today's price to only $995 for the year. Now, while Roger and I both know it's an insanely good deal for all of you, I think it's a complete no-brainer. We're actually going to even take things up a further notch and offer you guys something really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen this before, and we call it the 24-hour payout plan 2X scholarship. As you know by now, with our trade, we looking to target around $500 each day the markets are open, and we do that every day the market's open, up to 5 times per week. Now, in our winning weeks, we've seen dozens of these so far, and that's shown the power to stack up to $2,500 by the end of the week. More than enough to cover your membership 2 times over. Because remember, you guys aren't paying $2,995. You're paying $995. Okay. But if you had that week, you would have paid off the membership with some extra profits on top. Now, of course, we can never promise future returns, and we can't protect against losses. Losses are part of trading. But here's what we're going to do. Once you sign up today, and all of you guys are going to join today, right? We're not going to even start your subscription. Get this, guys. This is the scholarship. The date of your subscription won't start until the model portfolio shows at least a $2,500 profit, basically proving that the system pays for itself. What that means is you'll get access to the newest trades from the 24-hour payout plan starting today, no delay, but your subscription clock won't start today. Okay, it doesn't start today. It won't start ticking against you until the fee is more than 2x paid off, according to the live trade tracker first. Okay, our goal is to make it feel like you're getting the whole membership for free, ultimately, with that all extra profits on top locked in the bank. That's how confident we are in this daily trade. And then now, for the last bonus, as I mentioned, this is new, guys. So if you, by the way, guys, if you joined on Sunday, you guys get this. Don't worry. Everyone that joins as a charter member gets it. So if you join Sunday, go to your dashboard. It's there. You might not have even seen it. But guys, we weren't offering this before today. So if you were here Sunday, this is another bonus for signing up today. So in the background, I've been quietly working on a new way for us to get even more income opportunities after that 10 a.m. trade. It's a legitimate method to let us target twice as much income each day. And I call it the Daily Ripper. This is based on a chart pattern I've been trading over a decade. I call it the Daily Ripper. This technology helps you identify and trade it. It runs off a 4-step algo to find us the fastest moving stocks each day. This particularly small cap stocks. Like a lot of you guys know, I'm kind of the small cap guy. And then it delivers us a specific trade to target income opportunities of $250, $500, or even $1,000 plus each day. On top of the already great 24-hour payout trade we went over a minute ago. Now, the details are too much to get into this class. Roger and I both have appointments at 2:30. We got to get through this, okay? We don't have the time, but here's the scoop. My team and I are planning on launching this program in Q4, quarter 4, at a listing price of $2,000, okay? It's going to sell and probably hundreds, heck, maybe thousands of people will pay for the Daily Ripper, and they'll pay $2,000. Now, if you guys, you're lucky enough to be here today, if you take action today before midnight, okay, it's 1:53 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to give you free access to the Daily Ripper starting
Wow.
this week. Yep, just throwing it in. Okay.
Wow.
And guess what, guys? We can actually trade this live together. Okay. So my goal is to get you twice the profit opportunities with your membership. And hopefully, get some powerful testimonials from you, all of you guys, by the time we bring it public. So you might be saying, why are you sharing it? Listen, I love it, been using it forever, but I'd love you guys to have it as a bonus. And the cool thing is, I'm confident you're going to love it. I can get some great testimonials from you guys, and I can be like, hey, these are real people that use the RIP code, is what I call it. Okay. Now, if you wait till tomorrow, that bonus will be gone. Okay. This ends at midnight tonight. I wanted to give all you guys an opportunity. Maybe you're here Sunday and you were on the fence, or maybe you were busy Sunday. Okay. I wanted to make this just an easiest possible decision for you guys. Now, you can still join the 24-hour payout plan tomorrow. We'll let you in, but this bonus will not be there. Okay. Now, if you join today, you can get the Daily Ripper beta access, no extra cost. And that's a perk of being an action taker. Okay. Of taking action and joining the 24-hour payout plan today. So that being said, my friends, this first come, first serve. But to get the Daily Ripper, $2,000 value, the public doesn't even have it yet. Okay. You need to join before midnight tonight. So that being said, Roger, is your team putting the link in chat?
Yeah. Raleigh's doing it. Raleigh's doing it right now.
Okay,
As a
awesome.
matter of fact,
I didn't want to screw anything up. Okay. So that being said, guys, Roger said Raleigh is dropping that link in chat right now. Now, as I mentioned, that $2,000 bonus till midnight tonight. Okay. So to me, now's the time to take action. You get the getting started guide. You get
and I can confirm the link is in the chat.
Okay, cool. You get the scholarship. You get the trade tracker. You get email, cell phone, Telegram alerts. You get a guide, optimization. It's all there. And until midnight tonight, you get the Daily Ripper thrown in. So, or if you can't see that link for any reason, you can go to 24hourpayout.com and you'll go straight to the secure checkout page. So I'll leave that up here for a second, just in case, like if you're on your cell phone, maybe you can't see the chat. It's just 24, number 4, hourpayout.com. Now, on top of that, we want to make sure each and every one of you can get in. If you have any problems with any of those, you can also call 904-706-3539. Sorry, Roger, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that Raleigh will keep reposting the link, so you don't have to worry about this page. He's got the the website and the phone number. He keeps posting it every few minutes, so we're all good there. And folks, as Tim says, this is something that he's currently working on. It's not out yet. Am I correct?
No, it's out. It's live, but it's only pre-access. So
Gotcha.
It's live.
Gotcha.
But there's only a couple hundred people have access to it. Now in Q4, it's going live and it's going to sell for $2,000. Okay.
So people have this. They got to rush. They got to rush. This is fantastic, folks. Don't. You know what I always say? Procrastination is the biggest enemy of making money. Murphy's
100%.
Law and procrastination, the two biggest culprits to not making money, right? So take advantage of this, folks. Do it right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Tim.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you mentioned that. So again, guys, if you take action and join today before midnight, I'm going to give you free access to the Daily Ripper starting this week. And we'll actually trade it live together, live webinars every morning, 8:30 Eastern.
Wow.
Now, that's a $2,000 bonus added in for the action takers. Now, like Roger said, you procrastinate, you can still get the 24-hour payout plan tomorrow. Okay, we'll let you in. But think about what procrastination is going to cost you. It's going to cost you a $2,000 bonus. So why not take action now? So that being said, Roger, I'll let you kind of go over all the details. I've been talking for a while.
Folks, take advantage of this. Join before midnight to get the Daily Ripper. I love the name, Daily Ripper. Include it for free. And again, take advantage of this, folks. I have a lot of questions. I'm seeing a lot of questions in here, and Raleigh will answer those questions. And then when Tim and I are done, we'll answer them too. But take advantage of this 24-hour payout. Join 995. Now, folks, it's important that you either go to 24hourpayout.com or call 904-706-3539. And if you already got it, update to lifetime before this offers. Folks, keep in mind, you'll always be able to update to lifetime, but the price may be different. So it's something you really want to take advantage of. New trade every day. Now, Tim, with how many insane win streaks we've seen from the 24-hour payout, I wouldn't be shocked if we hit our $2,500 goal before the next week rolls around. I mean, just look at the most recent one. This one in July and August. Look at this, folks. The market went down, then up, then flat, typical modus operandi. Anyone following would have gone on 11 trade hot streak. That's
17.
17, excuse me, 17
yeah.
trade
I know.
hot streak.
The problem is your brain didn't compute. Your brain was like, it can't be 17, it has to be 11, but it was actually 17.
Can you imagine, folks? Folks, do you know what it's like to go 17 trades without a losing streak? My guys actually do. We do it all the time in the pit, but those are really good numbers. Anyone following along, look at that, 500, over 500, more money. Look at that, 17 times. I love that. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Over $9,000 in profit. That's fantastic. Folks, that could have been enough to pay for membership 9 times over. Or even better, cover the full $995 membership costs and then some. Drop $5,000 in the savings account and then surprise your family with $3,000 plus shopping spree just for fun. And that's just after a few days of trading the 24-hour payout plan. Now, can you ever imagine what it might look like after a few months or by Christmas? They join, folks. Join before midnight to get the Daily Ripper included for free. Now, just a lot of folks are asking, what if they already bought? Did they get the Ripper too if they've already purchased it?
If you joined on Sunday, it's there. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you guys are all good. Don't worry about that. But let's deal with this 24-hour payout.
But basically, if you keep in mind, guys, those that join after midnight, sorry. Okay, this is only for charter members. We were going to close it for charter members on Sunday. We opened it back up. So this is last chance. Okay, so if you joined on Sunday, you're good to go. Don't sweat it. But if you haven't joined, you got 10 hours and that goes away. Tomorrow, sorry. So
That's right. Absolutely. And folks, if you like saving even more money, we've set up a very sweet deal for you where you can get 3 years of access for less than $500 per year. That alone saves you another 50% plus off the annual rate. But this 3-year special will not be available for long. It's extremely limited. Just click the link in the chat, get started. If you don't see the 3-year deal, well, that means it's closed. And folks, but I think we still have some spots left. Remember, we're going to be keeping them open. We're going to be keeping them open until midnight.
But
tonight.
there's a chance they could fill. So like,
right, if they fill, that's it.
If you're, Roger mentioned Raleigh's posted the link several times. Like if you're waiting to click the link, there's a good chance that it just might not be available. So like if you're waiting for something else, I wouldn't wait. Okay, because you're running the risk of missing that.
That's right.
So that being said, guys, I just want to give you guys the info one more time. Remember, the normal retail price, $2,995. We will, in the future, we'll go on some webinars. We'll probably discount it for $1,995 per year. This is brand new Sunday, 1 p.m. It was born then, okay? For now, $995 for a year. Now, that, my friends, you procrastinate, you miss out on. Maybe you'll get lucky and get it for $1,995, or maybe you end up paying $2,995 for it. Why not click that link or call that number right now? So that being said, Roger, I wouldn't be shocked if we receive over 1,000 stories this week. We've had a lot of people joined on Sunday. Okay. Now, the newest members who get a taste of the 24-hour payouts, and we're even going to help you get going, even if you're totally brand new to trading. You see, the key here is structuring the trade in exactly the right way to take advantage of this overnight anomaly. You just have to know which trades to place each day, which we went over today at 10 a.m. Okay. And again, guys, there's going to be tons of education. You'll know what to do. So that's why Roger and I are going to show you everything you need to know how to deploy your first 24-hour payout right away. This morning is recorded. So when you join today, guys, this morning's live session, it's on the dashboard. You can start watching it. So that way anyone can start using this brand new method to target extra income right away, up to 5 times per week, every day the market's open. And I don't care who you are, how old you are, age, sex, color, creed, young, old, every single one of you is welcome to get started today. And if you start before midnight Eastern, like this is what I would do, guys. Join now. Because I know how busy things get. Like, listen, thank you for the comment on my energy levels, Roger. But you know what? When this webinar ends, I'm taking a nap. Okay. I'm taking a nap. You take a nap and then you get busy and you forget. And all of a sudden it's midnight. So all of you guys click that link, square it away, and then you don't have to worry about missing it. And I feel like every one of you is in the everyone category. So every one of you should be clicking that link or calling that number if you have any problem with the link. So that being said, we held a live step-by-step workshop showing you how to do everything beginning to end. All the full details, how to place your first trade, how the system works, including how to automate the exits for maximum gains. We'll even teach you a risk-cutting trick that we picked on to cut our overall losses in half and also increase the profit factor by almost 50%. That gives us extra peace of mind when placing these trades, knowing that they've worked out 9 out of 10 times. Now, typically, these live strategy sessions, live coaching sessions, can vary from $500 to $1,000 per session. But today, we're going to give you the chance to claim it for no cost alongside that membership. So once you get your hands on this step-by-step workshop, you'll be stunned at how clear-cut it really is. It really is simple. Might seem complicated, it's not. And you'll be immediately able to start using it every day the market's open, so up to 5 times per week. And after just hitting a few buttons, you could have the trade locked and loaded. And that's really all there is to it. You just repeat it every day. And we just do that each and every day. And the best part is, regardless of market conditions. Back in February and March, worst months of 2026 by far, war breaking out, inflation ticking up, gas prices going through the roof, stocks dropping like a rock. Look at that chart. It's ugly. Didn't matter for us because folks following along would have actually gone 35 for 41 trades using the 24-hour payout for a grand total, winners and losers together, of over $10,000 in profit. Now, that was during the worst market drop in over last year. I'm sure you guys remember February and March. It was basically the beginning of the Iran war. Okay. Very scary time. Okay. Now, keep in mind, we're not talking about, getting a time machine and going back and buying Apple 30 years ago. I mean, it would have been a good call, but you would have had to wait 30 years. These are trades that have just happened. I mean, I've showed you examples from just days ago, and they quickly become our bread and butter for these types of daily income opportunities. Now, at the end of the day, it's up to you. I mean, Roger made some very poignant points on the cost of procrastination. This question, I mean, it's for you guys. I mean, I can't make you take action. Roger can't make you take action. You have to click the link or call the number. Now, the question you should be asking yourself right now, are you going to be next or are you going to procrastinate? Okay, I don't know. You can be a procrastinator if you want. That's not what I want to be. What I would do is take action right now. Click that link or type in 24hourpayout.com. Or if any of the links don't work or whatever, page times out, your internet goes out, call 904-706-3539. On that note, if you're a procrastinator, which doesn't make me particularly happy to think about, But if you are a procrastinator, write that number down. Okay. This webinar is ending in a few minutes. If it's 11:59 and you change it, like I said, I'd just do it now. You're locked away. You can start studying. You don't have to worry about it. But if you are a procrastinator, at least just write that number down. That way it's 11:59. You can still call. You got a backup. Okay. So that being said,
Now,
I'll
I know
take it back to you, Roger.
Yeah, no problem, Tim. Now, I know we have tons of people in the chat asking questions, and we'll do our very best to stick around and get to all of them. But one of the big ones I see is, can I get lifetime membership? The answer is, of course you can. And I highly recommend you do, and here's why. When you upgrade to your lifetime membership, not only will you get endless access to the 24-hour payment plan for the payout plan for years and years to come, no renewal fees, no maintenance charge, no ongoing costs at all. And not only do you get legacy access, where if at any time you want to pass the membership off to a family member or a friend, you can for free, but there's actually one really big perk that comes with the lifetime membership. Lifetime members will also get access to our active daily trade dashboard. This dashboard is designed to update in real time to pull the current prices and options for our daily trades. So if you got caught up at work and are late to the 10 a.m. entry, no worries. In the dashboard, you'll be able to generate the most up-to-date strikes, entry price, profit target based on where the market is currently is. And that's just the beginning, folks. For the core membership, we found that the optimal entry time is at 10 a.m. However, on the days where the market falls hard after 10 a.m., more than 1%, much juicier setups hit the active trade dashboard. Think of them like bonus opportunities for massive dip buyers. And over the last 15 months, not only would it have won 30 out of the last 31 bonus trade signals with a 96.8% accuracy, but it also would have added an extra $42,000 on top of our already great trade. That's nearly 50% more each trade, and only from a handful of extra trades. That's how good the active dashboard is. And that's why I believe everyone should get a lifetime membership today. Of course, if you're interested after you complete your membership and hit the button to submit, well, I'll automatically take you to the next page where you can add the lifetime options onto your membership. The cost is so low, folks, it's almost laughable. I'm not kidding. It's almost laughable. Take advantage of this opportunity and do this.
So FYI, guys, the most common question we get, that's why we answered it first, is there a lifetime option? Smart, like take advantage. So what you need to do, go to the webpage or go to 24hourpayout.com or click Raleigh's link, sign up for 1 or 3 year, whichever you like. Definitely consider the 3 year if it's still there. They might be gone, but you will then be presented with the unlimited lifetime option. And then you can make the choice from there. Okay. Now keep in mind, if you signed up for 1 year, the unlimited will be more than if you signed up for 3 years. So choose the right one. It's adjusted. Okay. But choose what you're comfortable with, 1 year or 3 year. If the 3 year is still there, hit that submit button, and then you'll get your unlimited upgrade option. And then you can just make the choice from there. Like Roger said, it's crazy how cheap it is, but you can close it. Now you get one shot at it, FYI. You get one shot at that discount. You can upgrade later. You can upgrade to unlimited at any point, but you're not going to it's a one shot to get that upgrade price. So definitely consider that. So that being said, Roger, I know we're both tight on time, so let's run through the FAQ and answer some of the most common questions. And that way, everybody's up to speed.
I'd love to. All right, Tim, this is important. How much money is needed?
Well, I mean, the trades average about $85. I mean, yes, $85 to get going with your first trade. Now, you're welcome to trade with as much or as little as you'd like. Start out small or paper trade. There's nothing wrong with that, but average around $85. So this one's for you, Roger. I mean, will every trade be a winner?
Now, of course not. No strategy wins 100% of the time. But according to our tests and real money trades, These 24-hour payout alerts have been extremely profitable for folks who stick to the system, including many 15-plus trade hot streaks along the way, which is fantastic. For example, Tim, you wanna cover
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I mean, listen, we had a perfect month in April worth an extra $10,000 from the daily trade. Remember, another perfect month in May, back-to-back months. That one was over $10,000 in extra income. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Should I be worried about more downside in the market this year, Tim?
I mean, that's the beauty of the system. I mean, we're not holding position for weeks on end or months on end. We're targeting extra income overnight and usually hitting our payout in 24 hours or less. And as we've showed you a ton of examples, red markets, green markets, sideways markets, pretty markets, and even ugly markets. So just like we showed you in February and March, $10,000 in profit. So back to you, Roger. I mean, this is a great question. Can I trade this in an IRA or a 401k?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know that example that I gave this afternoon, the Fidelity example, that was my pension account. So, I mean, you guys saw me put it, I was doing it in my pension account. So if I could do it in my pension account in Fidelity, you could do the same thing. And I pulled up my Fidelity pension account and I was showing you how to put in both sides of these trades. So if I could do it in my Fidelity, you can do it too. Yes. The answer is unequivocally yes.
Beautiful.
All right. How do we close the trade, Tim? A lot of people want to know how to close the trade.
Well, listen, with the automated exit, you don't have to do anything to exit the trade. And now we'll teach you how to do that step by step. And then you just let it do the work. We'll even show you a few tricks with the exit that actually cut the losing trades by nearly 50%. Back to you on this one, Roger. I mean, what happens if I miss one? What happens if I miss today? So
if we have 5 opportunities every week, folks. So while I hope you get every trade, you don't have to worry about missing one here and there. Remember, it'll average itself out over time. Although if you upgrade to lifetime, you'll have the active dashboard, and the active dashboard will adjust the prices for you for any time of the day. So if you missed a trade, get the lifetime, and then you'll have the dashboard, and then you can get into these trades at any given time. You don't have to be dependent on the 10 o'clock hour. Yeah. So if you got caught up at work, and let's say it's 11 o'clock, the dashboard, you'll be able to generate the most up-to-date strikes, entry price, profit target, anything you need to get the trade going. And that's only the beginning, my friends. For the core membership, we found that the optimal setup time for these daily trade does come at 10 o'clock. However, on the days where the market falls hard, meaning over 1% after 10 a.m., much juicier setups hit the dashboard. Think of them like bonus rounds. And everybody likes bonus rounds. In fact, over the last 15 months, not only would it have signaled 30 of 31 bonus trades with a 96.8% accuracy. So this is just fantastic. But it also would have added an extra 42,000 on top of our already great trades. Now, folks, that's something to get really excited about here. But it also could have been, all right, let me continue. Do I have to be glued to the computer like I am most of the day, Tim?
Me too, brother. I mean, I stare at charts 16 hours a day, but that's the beauty of this, guys. Both the entries and exits are extremely easy to manage. Entries happen right about 10 a.m. each day, and the exits are automated. Like on July 13th. In this case, the target would have hit the next day. Folks could have walked away with an extra $529 hands-free. Then on Tuesday, set the trade at 10 a.m. From there, check the account the next day. Would have been another $500 overnight payout right at the market open. Then on Wednesday, remember, this is all the same week. Set the trade. Anyone following along with the 24-hour payout plan would have seen $535 by 10:20 a.m. the next morning. Then Thursday, very same story. Folks would have actually hit the profit target all the way back early in the day. Or then on Friday, July 17th, folks could have placed the trade in the morning, hit the payout right at 9:35 with the automated target in place for $541. And then speaking of that 10 a.m., why is that, Roger? Why the 10 a.m. range?
Well, remember the data. Stocks tend to be flagged during the day and then it pop overnight. With the way we're using the options that are deep in the money, we get a win-win. We capture decay during the day, and I talked about this during our 10 o'clock session today, as the stock chop around, and then we get the vertical upside from our long. So we get a double whammy there, and that's fantastic. That's how we're supposed to be doing this.
Nice.
Will it cost $29.95 per year to join, like many of our other services, Tim?
Well, I mean, my thought is probably more, but we haven't really got there yet. Okay, we haven't got there yet. But listen, guys, it's probably going to be that much or more. But guess what? If you join today, you don't have to worry about any of it. Okay. Charter members can get in for just $995 for an entire year with 250 plus trades. Remember, you got that 3-year option if there's any left. Plus, if you want to save even more money, once you sign up, you'll be presented with that unlimited option. Now, Roger, this is a big one. Do I have a risk of being assigned shares?
No, this ticker and its bigger brother have no risk of being assigned. It's an English option, and English options are not like American options. They don't exercise in shares. They're exercised in cash. So your P&L is all done in cash by the back office at your broker. So the ticker is cash settled at 4 p.m. There's no reason to be worried about getting assigned shares if the price finishes between our strike. It'll automatically balance up in your share hands-free. So you have no questions about that at all. Now, of course, for anyone who wants to explore all the benefits with this ticker, Tim and I put together a short brief that lays it all out, which you can access in the members area, and you can watch the video, which we recorded today.
Just a
So
couple
there's a
hours
lot
ago.
of
Yeah,
information
yep.
there for you to help you with this. In a really, really good way. Now, Tim, can we ever hit our target the same day that we enter the trade?
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, with that 10 a.m. entry, we see this happen all the time, which is pretty sweet because more often than not, that means kind of a double payday in one day. And guess what, guys? This just happened. Okay. Funny, things are, happen for a reason sometimes. Just the other day, Friday, August 21st, we started off the morning hitting our $500 payout 24 hours from the Thursday entry. Then a few hours later, the profit target on the Friday entry too. So the Thursday hit Friday and the Friday hit Friday. So, and this was just last Friday. Okay. Just a couple days ago, actually had 2 in one day. That's $1,000 in a single day. I mean, think about it. That's enough to cover the full year membership in one trading day. Now, it was a great day. They're not all going to be like that, but that was just last Friday. Okay.
Right.
So that being said, Roger, how do I set up my own 24-hour payout plan in the stock market?
That's the best question I've heard all day, Tim. Click the link that Raleigh's posting in the chat and get in on it right now. Take advantage of it. Folks, it's the same ticker, same trade, same time each day. It's like Groundhog Day. You guys ever seen the movie Groundhog Day?
Great movie.
How repetitive it is? That's how this is. Daily edge, unlike anything you've ever seen. You guys are going to absolutely love this. Just like recently, in the middle of August, the S&P 500 was very, very choppy. And but for us, we loved it. It didn't make any difference at all. Monday over $500, Tuesday over $500, Wednesday over $500, Thursday over $500. And can you guess what happened on Friday? Sure you can. Altogether, that would have been a nice, pretty penny, Tim.
Now, remember, guys, if you take action today, by midnight tonight, okay, and you join today, I'm going to give you free access to the Daily Ripper starting right away this week. And we're going to trade it live together on the 8:30 webinar every day this week. Guys, when this launches, again, it hasn't been announced yet, but it's coming. It's basically final beta test. When I say beta testing, it's really just kind of QA, not to get too software. It's done. The algo's done. It's really just like colors of buttons, locations, like it's just little stuff. But we like to release it to people, take in those comments before it goes to the general public. So the algo's done. It's been crushing it. It's really just itty bitty little like looks and features and stuff. So won't have to pay for it. But as always, or not as always, as we mentioned several times, that goes away at midnight. So guys, again, Roger and I both have hard stop in just a couple minutes here. There's still 500 of you guys here. I appreciate 500 of you sticking around to the end, but we have reached the end. All great things come to an end, Roger, even including our webinars. Okay. But that being said, guys, you know what to do. You can join tomorrow. You can join next week. You're probably going to pay more.
Ooh,
You won't get the Ripper access. Like, there's really no reason not to take action today, especially like, listen, we're an hour and 23 minutes into this. We started this an hour and 23 minutes. You're still here for a reason. Okay. Like, Roger's a pretty handsome guy. Okay. But he ain't that handsome. Okay. Me, I'm ugly. I walk by mirrors, they break. Okay. We ain't that handsome. Okay. There's no good reason to still be here an hour and 23 minutes later unless you're interested. So at this point, take action, get the discount, get the Ripper, act before midnight, or if you can't see the link, type or call that number 904-706-3539. Roger, any finishing statements before we jump?
I have a
yeah,
lot of-
well, I tell you what here, guys, before you go, I have a ton of questions here that we need to address. And I want to consolidate them a little bit.
Well, what we could do, let's do this. I apologize, guys. I have a live trading webinar in 6 minutes. So
Okay.
Roger, are you cool doing some Q&A?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So I apologize, guys. I've got basically there's 1,000 people.
Yeah,
that are gonna
got
be
you
on
covered,
that
Tim. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So thank you guys. Yeah. So stick around. Roger will ask the questions. Raleigh, Roger, I apologize, but yeah, I got 6 minutes. Fire away with the questions. Have a great day, everybody.
That sounds
Thanks, Tim,
great.
and thank you for being here. I know you had a rough 24 hours. Let's all give a
It's
big
been a whirlwind.
Yeah,
for
thank
Tim.
you, Tim. Thank
We
you
got it
so
covered.
much for
We got you.
everything, buddy. We got you covered. So, Roger, the number one question that was asked by everyone that was here, and let me go. You want me to go ahead and grab the screen here?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, let me grab the screen here.
I didn't realize, time just went by so fast. It was, I honestly thought we were only talking for half an hour,
Oh, no, we covered a lot of ground. But the number one question that was asked by so many people was about the Daily Ripper, more from the
Yes.
perspective of where is it and how can I get access to it? Okay, guys, that's a fair question. This is something that was just added to the program today, and we here at the Trading Pub are working with Tim and his company to line up access for that. Okay, so cool your jets. It's going to be there for you. And just to be clear, if you signed up for this program on Sunday or Monday or today, anytime before midnight tonight, you will have full access to that. I am not sure if it's going to be in one click or if it's going to be a redirect over to stocks to trade. I honestly don't know, but you guys will have access to it and we'll make sure that you know about it. So rest assured that you're going to have access to that very, very special program. Roger, another question that was asked, a lot of people asked the question, well, how much money do I need to make $500? And Roger, if I do the math, it's real straightforward. This is a program that's designed, winning trades are 15% of your stake. And every example that we gave you guys was based on a $3,500 stake yielding $500. Okay.
Yes.
So if you put $350 in, you're looking to make $50. Okay.
Right.
But 15% is the profit target. And Roger, what was also kind of cool when I was looking a little bit forensically, through the trade tracker, the average net return per trade, net of winners and losers, is 7%.
Yes. Yes.
And so
Yes.
a lot of people, Roger, were asking the question, hey, if I put in, let's use the example. Let's say I put up $3,500. If the trade goes against me, am I losing $3,500?
Well, the average loser is a lot less than that. So that's just the max loss. The 3,500 is the max loss. That's the amount you need to have in your account to do this trade. But again, that's the max loss. Max losers don't happen very often. Usually the SPY doesn't, I keep saying SPY. Usually the ticker SPX doesn't go anywhere. And we end up getting out for a lot less than that. So that's just the max loss. Okay. It's not the average loss. It's a max loss.
It's a max loss.
Think
Okay.
about this, folks. If your profit factor is 2.25, which it is here, that means on average, for every dollar you lose, you make $2.25 back. That's a really good risk to reward. And again, you're winning 92% of the time. So yes, your losers will be bigger than your winners, but you win much more often than you lose.
And you
And by the way,
lose.
that's a very normal way to trade. I trade that way all the time.
So, Roger, I think everybody's aware of the fact that this is an alert service and they're going to expect to get an alert somewhere like around 10 o'clock in the morning. Many people were asking the question, Roger, how quickly do I have to get that trade in the market? I'll give you an example. A guy on the West Coast, 7 o'clock in the morning, he may still be snoozing or in the shower. He looks at his alert. It's 10:30. It's 11 o'clock. Is it too late for him to get that trade in the market?
No, as a matter of fact, these things are not fast moving, and you can be a little bit late to the party as long as you can get the price that we want to pay. You're good to go. And if you have lifetime, you'll have the dashboard. The dashboard will update you on the strike prices you need as well. You can always call. You can always send me an email, and if I'm not in a class between 12 and 1, I'll tell you the latest one. But it's very straightforward. As a matter of fact, you saw me do it today, Raleigh. I didn't press the button to enter, but I set up the trade on 2 different platforms.
Okay.
And I did that, and I don't know, were you there this morning or not?
I
I'm
was
sure.
not there this morning.
Okay,
No, on
so
that.
I set up the trade, folks. I set up the trade in my Fidelity account, and I set up the trade in the Thinkorswim account, and I did both of them in less than 3 minutes together. So we're not talking about a very complicated trade. We're not talking about anything very complicated. We're not talking about any difficulties. We're talking about something you could do in just a few minutes, literally a few minutes. So very simple, very straightforward. And here's the other part. It's repetitive. Now, let me ask you guys, do you remember watching me for the first time and watching me now? It's like you can probably say the next word I'm going to say. Imagine you placing the same trade every morning. I think after a few months, you're going to kind of get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take you forever. But look at the silver lining. It'll take you a little time, but you'll be able to trade options that cost $8,000 for $125.
Yeah.
After learning how to do this. So it's not just going to help you make money in this program. This is going to help you make money in other programs as well, which I think is absolutely phenomenal and something you should definitely strive to do.
And to that point, Roger, a lot of people were asking, like, what kind of trades are these? And these are vertical debit spreads, folks.
Yes,
That's what
vertical
they are.
in the money debit spreads. Really simple, very straightforward, very, very, very doable. Very doable.
And as Roger said, it's rinse and repeat. We're going to be focusing on a single ticker, and we're going to be doing these debit spreads day in, day out, day in, and day out. Now, there are some folks here that are going, Roger, what level options is that? For some brokers, it's level 2. For other brokers, it's level 3. Folks, don't be afraid of that. If you're at level 2, for example, with Robinhood, but you need to be at level 3 to trade these, which is what it said on their website, just tell them you want that permission. Tell them that you are getting trade alerts from an expert. And you're going to be entering those trades because, once again, Roger, as you have said over and over again, a debit spread is a nice trade. It's hedged. Your losses are limited. It's a terrific trade, and it should not be scary to people to do that. And the trades guy, I have seen the trades, folks. And Tim and his team, they tell you exactly what you need to do. There is no, there's no fuzziness to it. And in addition to that, Roger, as I understand it, there's an automated exit program that you could set up.
Yes, and we tested a bunch of different time frames and exits, and this it's like a micro seasonality period that works, and it works really, really well. So I highly recommend people use this approach when they're timing the market with the index, because it's a very, very, very good, very, very good. It makes sense. It makes sense is what it does. It makes really good sense.
And guys, for those of you that are new to options or you don't know much about options, well, there's a couple of things I can tell you that are really important. First of all, as Roger just said, these trades are very, very easy to enter. And they're not true trades. It's one trade that you're taking, okay? Number one. Number two, the program includes a complete options training course. And I have been going through the material in the members area there, and it is outstanding folks. It is outstanding. The videos, the Getting Started guide. Roger, the Getting Started guide by itself is probably one of the best that I've ever seen. Walks
Yes.
you through everything, including examples. And you did your master class today. So guys,
Yes.
don't be afraid of this. This is a great way, to trade the markets. Let's see here. Some other questions that are here. Roger, is it possible that maybe a day occurs and no trade pops up?
Nope. Every day you get a trade.
Every day there is a
Every day you get a
trade.
trade. Every day there's a trade.
Okay.
Every day. Every day.
Okay, so a number of people asked the question about the tuition. And guys, I think we just need to be clear about this. When you purchase the program, when you give us your credit card, we're going to charge your credit card, and you have 14, days from that point in time to request a refund if you won't. When it comes to the timing of your program, that's what the tuition is all about. Okay, so if you join the program today and we start to do trades, you're going to see the model portfolio, and the beginning of your tuition will not start until we make at least $2,500. That has nothing to do with the payment. We are not holding your credit card until we get $2,500. It doesn't work that way. Okay.
Right.
So the tuition basically is this. And once again, that's inside of your money back guarantee period. So if we're not making that in that period, well, you might want to have some thoughts, but let's set that aside. I just want to be real clear about that. We are not tracking where you come in. We're not holding your card and then charging you once we get 2,500.
Yeah,
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. Right. It doesn't work that way. It's not a credit spread, a green arrow. It's debit spreads in the money. Okay. Debit spreads in the money. So just FYI. And yes, we basically, what we're saying is that we're going to extend your time. If you bought less than lifetime, we're going to expand your time, and we're not going to start your time clock doesn't start till there's $2,500 in the model portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to say.
So several people said, well, this course and training showed me how to enter the trade, when to enter, price to enter, how to set it up, stop loss, etc.
Yeah, I did all that today. I did all that today. Here, let me show you guys what we covered today. So let me just quickly...
Do you want to take the screen, buddy?
No. I'm just going to
discuss it. Yep.
Yeah, I just want to bring it up and just give them a little taste of what we talked about today, so they
And while you're
understand.
doing that, I just want to tell people, once again, you guys are asking a lot of questions about Ripper, and I don't blame you. It's an awesome benefit. For those of you that are in the trading pub, and if you have one-click trading, at this point in time, it's not available to you yet. We're working on that. My understanding is that anybody that purchased the program Sunday, Monday, and today before midnight will have access. So after midnight tonight, we're going to know everybody that purchased that, and I know the team is working with Stock to Trades to tell us exactly how you are going to get in access to the Ripper trade. Okay, so
Yeah.
guys, it's real straightforward. You got it. You bought it before midnight tonight. It's yours. It's up to us to get it to you, and we'll know more about that tomorrow.
And folks, let me just tell you what I covered today with Tim, okay? Tim talked about why we enter at a certain time, why we exit at a certain time. I talked about what a debit spread is, how it's constructed, the different type of exercising a debit spread, how debit spreads make money, how strike prices impact debit spreads, the price ends up, what happens if the price ends up between two strike prices when it's time to exit, what the max profit is, what the max loss is, how to enter order for a debit spread and work the order, how to exit a debit spread order, the danger of legging in and out of a debit spread, how volatility helps us with debit spread, using one ticker instead of another, typical price that we pay, and how to adjust that to the bigger brother, why the 15% profit target occur, why we have a profit target or a time stop, the difference between English and American expiration options, and brokers that support 24-hour trading. I covered all of that today with Tim between 10 and 11 o'clock. It's all recorded and in the members area.
Sure.
Before you ask questions, I highly recommend that you cover all of that.
Yeah, and guys, we have really done a wonderful job. Our support team has done a wonderful job giving you incredible information, easy to read, just, getting started guides, reinforcing videos like the one that Roger did today, clear-cut examples as to what to do. They've done a tremendous job. And I just don't, Roger, I guess I don't want to oversimplify things, but this is really a straightforward program, folks.
It's very straightforward, folks.
You're trading
There's
the
no
same
monkey
ticker
business.
every day using a debit spread over and over and over again. Roger, there were some questions about the bonus trades. Can you talk about that a little bit? What's the difference between like a bonus and a
Yeah, the
and a
bonus
normal
trade.
trade?
So folks, let's say it's 10 o'clock, okay, and you miss the trade, or you take the trade and the market really moves and you take profit. You go to your dashboard for all the people who have lifetime, and the dashboard is giving you a similar trade on it, but not the same, but a similar trade. You could take that similar trade and have a bonus round and or how about making money on a trade, getting out of a trade, getting another signal, and then taking that signal and then making money on the proper time at 3 o'clock the next day. So there's a lot of ways to make money on it, but you got to get started. And again, same trade every single day, same rules, same execution, and really, really, really easy. John, Thinkorswim, Fidelity. This is okay. Buying an option is the first easiest type of an option trade. A debit spread is the second easiest type of option trade. So it's not the easiest option trade, it's the second easiest. There's trades like butterflies, iron condors. This is just a debit spread. You buy and you sell. That's it. And again, if you can learn to do this trade, you're going to save a hell of a lot of money on your stock options, because you'll realize one of the examples I gave today when I was doing the live class, we took Raleigh a $2,500 option on Micron, and I turned it into a $100 trade or $120 trade or like $200 trade. And I showed folks how this doesn't just work on this ticker symbol we're doing here, how you could do this with stocks, and how you could turn a $7,000 or a $2,000 or a $4,000 trade into a $200 trade or a $100 trade. And I would imagine that most people here would be, when I said that, I would imagine most people here, their ears perked up, because most people here don't have a $100 million trading account, right? So you have a small account and you want to do these trades on the cheap. So folks, buy this program and learn how to take these trades. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's interesting. Chuck just asked a question. He said, "Hey, for the 10 o'clock class today, where will we see it?" You'll see it in your one-click members area. That just wrapped up just a few hours ago, so maybe it's still being rendered and edited, but that's where it will be. That's where it will be. But I will tell you this. If it's not there, don't worry, because it will be there. And there's already another masterclass there that was held by Nate. He did a great job talking about how to enter these, debit spreads into the market. The Getting Started guide is phenomenal, folks. And I mean it. I know I'm overselling it, but the team did an awesome job there. And then, I'll have to double check the site as to when the one that you did earlier, Roger, but it's going to be worth its weight in gold. Let me see if there's some other questions here. So Frank, when you said, okay, Frank, you asked the question, how quickly do I have to get into the market? Well, you're going to be given the exact trade. So if you're not there at 10 a.m. to put it in, you want to put it in at 11 o'clock or whatnot, you'll probably want to do what, Roger? Use a limit order of some kind?
you always use limit orders for this.
Always use limit orders, and then look to get your fill there.
Yes. And folks, this is not any one person here, iPhone, keeps talking about Nate's program. I don't know about Nate's program. I don't really talk to Nate about his programs. But if Nate has a program that does this type of stuff, that's just fantastic. But again, this has nothing to do with Nate, nothing to do with Nate's program. Nate is our publisher. Nate overrides all of our he's the guy that puts, so he's the publisher, so he's the guy that has to look through all our programs. But I don't really, as a guru, I don't really deal with Nate. So
hey, instructions on how to trade to place a debit trade are agnostic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, this is how you place the trade. Let me see
Yes.
here. Oh, by
Yes.
the way, and I like this. Paco asked a question. He said, "Hey, I bought the 3-year plan yesterday, but I did not see the upgrade to lifetime. Can I still upgrade?" Absolutely. All you have to do, just call 904-706-3539. Paco, they'll have your account information and say, "Hey guys, I bought this yesterday. I really want the lifetime." And as we indicated here, the lifetime price, Roger, hold on to your horses. It's 1890. That's
It's
lifetime,
unbelievable.
and that gives them access to the dashboard, as
Exactly. That's
well. And so now
fantastic.
we're including the Ripper in on top of that. So Tim and his team, working together with you and our guys, Roger, have put together just an incredible program.
Yes, yes. And folks, if you're asking question about how to get access to this, how to get access to this, I just want you to know I have not been in the members area in over 8 years. So when I say you're talking to the wrong guy, you're really talking to the wrong guy. I have no clue. I have over 100 people in customer service helping us out. Please call. Where's the Ripper? Where do I get the? We don't know. We don't deal with that. Ask us trading questions here. Okay, folks? This is not customer service live. My theory is don't ask me questions that anyone else can answer. Okay? Ask me questions that nobody else can answer. All right, let's continue, Raleigh. What else you got for me?
Why is the sky blue?
That's the now I got a better question. Why is the sky so much bluer in Florida than it is in California?
I don't know.
Because there's no smog here like there is in California.
I
That's why.
got you. Anyway, these are questions, that are on the top of my mind that Roger and I
Yes.
talk about all day long when we're not talking about trading questions. Let's see if there's some other questions here. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. No, the once again, the video that Roger's referring to is he and Tim did a live master class, and this is available to people that have bought the program, and it will be in the members area if it's not there now. As a matter of fact, guys, let me go ahead on a separate screen here and just open the members area and double check and see what's there. As far as trading platforms are concerned, you can use any trading platform that allows you to trade U.S. stocks and options. And I think we probably all have our preferences. When it comes to spreads, Roger, I'll just make a comment. The folks at Tasty Trade do an awesome job because their founder basically was such a solid
Yes.
believer in spreads. That's the good side of Tasty Trade. The side I don't like about them is that they don't have like a paper trading account. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Tasty is they approve people for spreads because that's like their big thing. But honestly, Tasty, Thinkorswim, Fidelity, anyone you want, any normal broker that trades stocks, you should be good with without any headaches or problems. You should any broker, name a broker, Tasty, Webull, Interactive, even though they're TradeStation, any of those are great. All of them are good. So you shouldn't have any problem. This is a very, very big. If you are an options trader, this is like the second most basic way to trade. So I highly, highly recommend you get in this. And if you're just learning about options, this is a great way to get started.
And I'm just looking at the trading area, and guys, I can tell you for a fact that the August 25th masterclass is posted there. And we've also included the notes, which would be where you can actually, see the deck, so you can follow along with it. It's 103 minutes long, and it's you and Tim and Nate, I guess, were together this morning.
Yeah.
For that.
Nate came in and out. He came in there. He was trying. Yeah, because we were both in here. He was just trying to help us out as he always does, which is fantastic.
And it is
very
there.
Nice. Yes. And Nate did an example of a trade, and then I did exactly the same trade, and it literally took us 30 seconds. And I even showed you, guys how to find the trade yourself without the alerts. I showed you how to do that too by using Delta. So you guys should have all of that stuff. I mean, and it's really straightforward. And surprisingly, I didn't get a lot of questions. I only got like 6 or 7 questions on it. Most of them were customer service questions. So any other questions I can answer? And yeah, folks, I was showing you how to do this in a Fidelity account, IRA account, my retirement account. So if I could do it in my retirement account, you should be able to do it in your retirement account.
Okay, let's see. Roger, that basically, I think, covers the questions that I had on my list. Once again, there were so many here, but I tried to cluster them, Roger, and I'm going to stay here for a few minutes longer to go ahead and answer some last minute questions. And I just want to make sure we reinforce a number of the things that we talked about today. I can tell you this, folks, that this is a live presentation and it is being recorded. So if any of you would like to have a link to a copy of this, all you have to do is give me your name and your email address and say, send me the replay. Okay. And I just put that in the chat panel. Well, here's a question that came up, Roger. People were wondering, how wide are these spreads?
They're one strike price apart. They're as tight as you can get. One strike. That's it. One strike. That's all you have to do. Just one strike. Nice, simple, effective, and very, very, very clean.
Yeah.
And that's and folks, there's nothing like a clean strategy. None of you probably remember me saying that the best strategies have less than 5 rules. This strategy has less than 5 rules. So
Yeah.
very, very, very simple, very effective, and the odds are it's going to continue working for a very, very long time.
Absolutely.
Highly recommended to all of you as soon as possible. All right, Raleigh, I'm going to get out of there unless there's other questions.
There is one more question,
Yes,
Roger,
yes.
and it's a good one that was asked. Some people are concerned about the fact that they may not have a broker like Thinkorswim, for example, that allows them to close the trade overnight at this point in time.
And you know what? I spent a bunch of time talking. I honestly, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I asked Graham to remove that section from today's webinar because we got so many questions about it and people were becoming fixated on it. Folks, listen to me. Out of the 300 and something trades, 6 trades were done overnight. I'm not planning on trading overnight. I'm not going to be sitting up putting in orders overnight. Forget this whole overnight Michigas thing, okay? Just forget about it. When everybody's trading overnight, then we may start doing it overnight. For now, we're going to stick to the day session, okay? And I probably got 30 emails about this yesterday. I don't even want to talk about this overnight business anymore. Forget about this overnight stuff, okay? I'm not going to be doing anything overnight, okay? I'm not doing anything overnight till everybody's doing everything overnight. Then we'll start doing it overnight. So forget about this this whole overnight thing, because I'm not going to focus on I'm not going to stay up in the middle of the night and send you alerts and do all this stuff. So let's just stick to the day session, okay, folks? Let's just stick to the day session. I'm really, I don't need this. I told Graham, and notice today's deck, the one Tim and I just did, notice there's not one slide about anything overnight. I told him to get rid of it. It was just confusing people. People were sending me emails. Do I need to change broker? What do I do? Don't do anything. Leave it alone and leave it alone. Don't forget about it.
And Roger, I just posted a statement there that I got from the team, which is, there's only 2 brokers right now, Interactive and Tasty Trade. But at this point in time, we still trade the strategy the same way. You just need to make sure that you exit during market hours, full stop, period. You don't have to change anything. But as things mature, and Roger, we're on the vanguard of everything. We try to take advantage of changes, micro changes, etc. We're always looking for that edge. If this becomes, the edge that it might be, then folks, we're going to be leveraging it.
Yeah. Now, folks, we may hold a position overnight. Holding overnight, meaning liquidating it next day when the market opens. Doesn't mean
exactly.
So holding overnight and not liquidating in the middle of the night are 2 different things. Like we buy a stock today, we exit it tomorrow at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. That will still do, but we're not going to be executing trades in the middle of the night. I don't know why they brought that up. I have no idea. It just confused people. It made people feel like this is some system where they have to trade overnight. I'm not doing any of that. I'm trading regular market hours. If you guys want to play around with that, you're on your own. I ain't doing any of that, okay? Not doing any of that, okay? So I'm making it really clear. Tim is not doing any of it, and I'm not doing any of it. If you guys want to delve on that and play around with that, God bless you. Homie, don't play that. I'm not doing
I don't blame him, Roger. It was mentioned, and it was a good question. So, your clarity and your pointedness on this is right on.
Don't
It's
send me emails
absolutely.
asking me what broker you need for overnight execution. I don't know and I don't care because I'm not going to be doing anything overnight. I'm going to be doing things like everybody has been doing for the last 30 years, okay? So that should answer that question.
It
All right.
does. And on that note, my friend, thank you so much for your time today, Roger. And thank you for the work that you did with Tim to basically meld both of your minds together because a lot of Tim's work is stock oriented and you
Yes.
are just an incredible options trader. So bringing those two together is fantastic. It was wonderful.
Yes, and all this Ripper business, you guys will get it all in your accounts. Don't I have no idea about it, and don't ask me questions
I'll
about
handle
it.
it, Roger.
Thank
I'll
you,
handle
thank
it,
you.
buddy.
Please, please, trading. I love your trading questions. Please send me some good trading questions. I don't get any trading questions. I get a bunch of customer service questions. You know what my response is? That's a great question. You should probably reach customer service. Make it they can help you. All right, guys. I'll see you later, Raleigh. Thank you so much, folks.
You're
Take
welcome.
advantage of it. It's a great opportunity, and I hope everybody joins. Ciao. I'll see you all later, folks. Love you all. See you in the morning in my morning show, and I'm not going to be in a rush this time. I'll see you all later. Bye. Thank you, Raleigh. Thank you for putting up with me and Tim for the last
Oh, no, no.
8
You guys were
hours.
great. I always like it when I get a chance to be around something that's new
Now,
because go ahead.
I was just going to say, what most of you don't know is this. When I was sitting with Tim yesterday, the other day, and we were live, Tim speaks very, very loudly, very, very, very loudly. And it was like an earthquake in here. It was great hearing it. I mean, you guys didn't hear that, but it was it was like a jet engine. He's really passionate about what he does, and I loved it. And he brings in so much energy. I just love it. It was just fantastic. So if you guys ever get a chance to hear Tim live, take advantage of it. It's a great, great opportunity to hear him live. He's just really, really like he's really like energy. I thought I was loud. I thought me and T-Buzz were loud. This guy is. I love it. I loved it. It was great. If you want to stay awake, put him next to you. You will not fall asleep. It's fantastic. So Tim, if you're hearing, thank you for energizing us all. We really do appreciate it.
All
All
right,
right.
great.
Thanks, guys. Bye and have a great day.
Take care, Roger. And so, folks, I've gone ahead and I did put a link there in the chat panel. If you want a replay, just give me your email address and your name and say, send me the replay. I see a number of people have said, send me the replay. Well, if I don't have your email address, I don't know where to send it. I just also went ahead and posted Roger's email address, roger@rogers.com. And he's serious. If you've got a question about a trade or one of his programs or strategies, go ahead and send him an email and be prepared and amazed at how quickly and thoroughly he responds to your email. He does make one recommendation though. Don't send him customer service questions. Don't ask him if, we have an installment plan because he doesn't know. Neither do I for that matter, but he doesn't know. Don't ask him a question like, what does VWAP stand for? You can Google that. But send him, once again, something related to a trade or a strategy, and he will definitely go ahead and answer that for you. Okay, so folks, what I've also done is I've created a summary of this presentation. So for those of you that may have come late to the program or, or would just like one more quick little walkthrough as you contemplated an investment, that's what this is about. I've stripped out all the testimonials, all the marketing stuff. I'm just going to cover the bare bones of the program and I'll cover the pricing. And if you've got questions, please type them in the chat panel while I'm going through the summary, and then I'll answer them when we're done. So today's focus was on the 24-hour payout plan, and it's solely dedicated to targeting extra income every 24 hours thanks to a new way to amplify this overnight market anomaly. And we're happy to share that after analyzing over 300 plus trades, the final study shows that it is small account friendly. The average cost per contract is $85. The profit target is 15%. And in this presentation, you're going to see us many times saying, hey, we made $500. That's because we had a $3,500 stake. 15% of 3,500 is right around 500 bucks. And if we look at the winning percentage, you can see 290 out of 315 trades, that's a 92.3% success rate. And that includes the fact that we have built in some risk management. For people that have been asking me, well, how many contracts is 3,500? Well, if you divide 85 into 3,500, that's what? 35, 36 contracts. Okay? But I needed you to know this. Also, if we look at all the trading data over the 300 plus signals, you can see our profit factor 2.76. You can see where the average return here is actually 8.59%. So once again, the program is proven over the past 15 months to do extremely well. And I'm obligated to tell you everything that we know. Past performance does not guarantee future results. But from our perspective, we think that past performance gives us an awful lot of good feeling about the potential of this program going forward. So what do you get when you join the program? Every single day, you're going to get a 24 payout opportunity. And each 24-hour payment alert, we're going to break it down step by step for you. We have the ticker, when to place the trade, the options criteria, the entry, and the exit target. We do all the heavy lifting. There's nothing for you to do but actually place this precise trade. Just like on August 11th, members received an alert in their email account, 24-hour payout alert. And even though the markets looked like garbage at the time, anyone taking the trade came back the next day with a nice 15% gain, $535 on a $3,500 stake. So guys, if you have a small account, and let's say you put $350 into this, you'd be up $53. 15% is 15%. And, you know, you don't have to feel like you have to sit next to the computer all day long, because we're going to post the trade every day around 10 a.m. By the way, that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that way you've got plenty of time to get in before the closing bell. So ideally, for those of you that have been saying, do I have to like pull off to the side of the road? Do I have to get this in? No, this is not a scalp. This is not a fast day trade, okay? You just need, you're going to enter this as a limit order, and you know, the more time you wait, the less likely that your limit order will be filled. But still, once again, you don't have to do this right away. All you need is a standard brokerage account, an internet connection, and a few minutes to set the trade each day. When Roger did the masterclass this morning, he did it on 2 platforms. I think he said Fidelity or Thinkorswim, and it took him 3 minutes total on, that's combined, you know, to enter on both platforms. And we want your experience with a 24-hour payout plan to be as hands-free as possible. That's why alongside with an email alert, you can also get a cell phone and telegram alerts telling you that you've got a trade waiting for you. So if you're out and about running errands or whatnot, you just have your phone on you, no problem. You're going to get the alert, you can read the alert, and you can also place the trade right on your phone, assuming you have a broker that has an app that runs on your phone, and most do. And yes, we keep track of the 24-hour payment plan performance for you, so you can easily double check things. So once again, it's a big spreadsheet. Every trade is put in there so you can forensically see what's going on. You can look at the past performance. You can see how current trades are doing. But this is, we have complete transparency with this program. Now, all of our alerts take advantage of trading options. And if you're new to options, don't worry, because we also include in this program the Getting Started with Options Guide. Now, this training will include how to set up the trade we're taking each day in the 24-hour payment plan, how to use the right order, get the best fills, and even how to set up automated exits for our daily profit target. Now, Roger and Tim held a live step-by-step workshop this morning that showed you exactly how you can start targeting these 24-hour payments with just a few clicks of the mouse. So for those of you that were there this morning, you got to see that. If you weren't, or you're new to the program, don't worry. It is already in the members area. I already saw it. I checked the members area. It's been recorded, and it's there for you. In it, you're going to see the full details from how to place your first trade in the 24 hours payout, how that works, and we're going to include how to automate the exits for maximized gains. It's all there in that video and in the supplemental information that's there, including your Getting Started guide. They even taught a risk cutting trick that picked up, they picked up they can cut their overall losses in half and also increase the profit factor by 50%. How about that? And this is where Roger really applied some of his background to options to the program. Now, as a special bonus, and this is something that you're going to be, that we talked a lot about today, is the first time we've seen it, is that in the background, Roger and Tim have been quietly working on a way to get us more income opportunities after the 10 a.m. trade. It's called the Daily Ripper. Okay, it runs off a 4-step algo to find us the fastest moving stocks each day, and then delivers a specific trade to target income opportunities from 250 to 500 to 1,000 plus each day. Once again, this is all based on that $3,500 stake. On top, and this is on top of the already great 24-hour payout trade. So this is additional trade. These Ripper trades are addition to what the normal trades are. And here's the scoop. The team's already planning on launching this program in the fourth quarter of this year, and the listing price is going to be somewhere around $2,000. But for those of you that take action and join the 24-hour payout plan today before midnight tonight, you're going to get free access to the Daily Ripper starting this week. So let me pause here for a minute because there were a ton of questions about this. If you were in the program, if you bought this program on Sunday, because remember it was first released to the public on Sunday, Monday, or today before midnight, if you've already bought it or you're purchasing it now, or you purchase it later in the afternoon, as long as it's before midnight, you're going to get free access to this $2,000 program. Now, a lot of people have been asking the question, so where is it? How do I get that? After midnight tonight, and it's all tallied, all the people that have access to this, you're going to be getting some communication as to where you can go, everything that you need to know about how to get access to the Daily Ripper and those alerts. But this is an awesome bonus. So everything this program does, our publisher established a retail price of $29.95. So that's the list price for everything that we see going on here. Now, it's not going to be $29.95 per year. We basically knocked off $1,000, the member fee, and then for those people that are joining today, this is for those people that joined Sunday and Monday and today, okay, we're going to knock another $1,000 off, which means that the price is $995 per year. So you can see all the discounts have been applied. And at this point in time, once again, for people that signed before midnight tonight, you are also going to get the Daily Ripper. And folks, if you like saving more money, an even sweeter deal was set up because Tim and the team basically said, hey, if you want, I can give you 3 years for less than $500 a year. So when you go to the landing page, this is what it looks like. You're confronted with 2 options, a 1-year plan for $995 or a 3-year plan for $1395. Your choice as to which one that you want to do. And once again, you join those before midnight tonight and you're going to get the Daily Ripper as well. Now here is a screenshot, folks, of what the members area looks like in one-click trading. And you can see that this is where you can sign up to get Telegram alerts. Here is that trade tracker, that spreadsheet that shows the trades. Here's the one ticker, information about the one ticker that we're focused on in this particular program. For those people that have VIP, this is where you get access to the trade dashboard. There's the Getting Started guide. There's master classes. It's all there. I want to focus on the Getting Started guide here for a minute because, folks, I saw this for the first time yesterday. So one of the first things I did is I went to the members area and I looked at the Getting Started guide. And when you click on it, this is your introduction, and it's broken down into 3 succinct areas. Learning the strategy, a complete guide, the rules of the daily rhythm, and every step from entry to exit. Understanding the trade structure, the math, the payoff diagram, the Greeks, recent scenarios, and executing the trade. Screen by screen platform walkthrough with written broker steps. As a matter of fact, let's look at it a little bit more closely. When I go into the first section, you can see here, so a lot of people are asking the question, how difficult is it to do that? Well, here's the entire strategy in one moment. You open the XSP option trade. Spoiler alert, the ticker is XSP. You select the exact expiration and strikes from the alert. You buy the lower strike call and you sell the call exactly 1 point higher. Okay, you enter the entire spread as one limit order. You never pay more than 90 cents. As soon as the trade fills, place a closing order for approximately 15% more than you paid with a maximum target of 99 cents. Leave the trade alone. If it's still open at 3 p.m. Eastern the following day, close it. Okay? This is just one small component because we go over it and show you exactly what you need to do point by point. And you can see here in the outline, understanding the trade, the rules, placing the entry, how to enter, how the enter fill works, placing the closing order, the daily rhythm, closing the trade at 3 p.m., complete trade examples, common mistakes, and a complete checklist. It's amazing everything that the team has put together. And it needs to be there. But I was going to say, take it from me. If those of you who don't know me, that doesn't mean anything. But for those that do know me, this is first class instruction. Guys, it's really straightforward. And yes, there is a lifetime plan. When you upgrade to your lifetime membership, to your upgrade, your lifetime membership will include endless access to the 24 payout plan for years to come. So you pay one price and you've got it for lifetime, okay? There's no renewal fees, there's no maintenance charges, no ongoing costs. And folks, what's important about this right here is that as this program is improved and enhanced and it grows, you're going to get all of those enhancements free of charge, because you bought into lifetime now and you have it. No renewal fees, no maintenance charges, no ongoing costs whatsoever. You'll get all that. And the other thing that's important about lifetime is you have legacy access. What this means, if at some point in time down the road, if you want to gift your membership, so your son, your daughter, or a friend or an acquaintance, you could do that. You just call us. Tell us who you want to transfer it to, and we'll do that for you free of charge. And then that lucky person is going to have ongoing lifetime access to the 24-hour payout plan. Guys, this is an asset. And we have a number of people that put in their wills because they want their executors to know exactly upon their demise who should be getting their VIP legacy access on this. And that makes sense. So lifetime members are also going to get the free access to the active trade dashboard. The dashboard is designed to update in real time to pull the current prices and options for our daily trade. So if you get caught up at work and are late to the 10 a.m. entries, no worries. In the dashboard, you'll be able to generate the most up-to-date strikes and entry price and profit target based on where the markets currently are at. And guys, this is a pretty cool dashboard. This is a web-based application. This is not something that you load onto your charts. You just basically click on it and it'll come up on any device as long as you can get on the internet. So it's a web-based application and it will show you that information, and there's trainings around this as well. So here's some frequently asked questions. How much money is needed? The average trade costs around 85 bucks, okay? So from that perspective, it is definitely small account friendly. You can open up an account with $1,000 or $2,000 and trade a single contract, and as your account grows, you can obviously expand the number of contracts that you trade. Should we be worried about more downside in the markets this year? No. We're not holding positions for weeks on end. We're targeting extra income overnight, usually hitting our payout in 24 hours or less. And as you've seen, some of the best results came in very ugly markets. Can I trade this in an IRA or a 401k? Yes. It is retirement account friendly. And if you're using a normal account, and regular brokerage does the trick as long as you're approved and have the appropriate levels for option. And a lot of people are asking this question, you need to be able to do a vertical debit spread. For most brokers out there, that's level 2. For some brokers, somebody was telling me, like Robinhood, it's level 3. Okay, I don't know why there's not a standard across the board. Each broker does it a little bit differently, but bottom line, you talk to your broker and said, I need to be able to trade a debit spread. And then whatever level that is, that's what you're going to get. How do we close the trade? With an automated exit. You don't have to do anything to exit the trade. We will teach you how to do it step by step, and then we'll just let it do the work. We'll even show you a few tricks with how to exit that and cut losing trades by 50%. So in most cases, it's kind of set and forget. with one exception. There is a time stop. If by 3 o'clock the following day your profit targets haven't been hit, then you will manually exit the trade. We do not let these expire on their own. Okay, so these are one dated options. All right, but in most cases you're going to hit your profit target. We've done that 92% of the time. All right, and if it doesn't hit your profit, or if you don't take your stop, you get out on a time stop by 3 o'clock the next day. What happens if you miss a trade? Well, you're going to have 5 opportunities every week. So we hope you get every trade, but if you don't, if for whatever reason you just couldn't do one, don't worry about it. And if you have lifetime, you're going to have access to the active trade dashboard where you can get the most up-to-date trade entry at any point during the day. And so that would be a benefit. So let's say you do get into market at 3 o'clock and you want to see what's the best. You open up the dashboard, it'll give you the best at that point in time, and that's available to everybody that has lifetime. Do I have to be glued to the computer to take the entries and the exits? No. Both the entries and the exits are extremely easy to manage. Entries happen at 10 a.m. each day, and your exits are automated. Why 10 a.m.? What's so important about 10 a.m.? Well, remember the data. Stocks tend to be flat during the day, and then they pop overnight. With the way we're using the options that are deep in the money, we get a win-win. We capture decay during the day as stocks chop around, and then get the vertical upside from the standard overnight move higher. Do I have a risk of being assigned on these trades? No. The ticker we are trading is cash settled at 4 p.m. on the expiration day. So there's no reason to be worried about getting assigned shares if the price finishes between our strikes. It'll automatically balance up in your brokerage account hands free. Can we ever hit our target the same day that we enter? Absolutely. Absolutely. With our 10 a.m. entry, we see this happen all the time, which is pretty sweet because more often than not, that means a double payday on that one day. So, guys, once again, 24hourpayout.com. This concludes my summary. Let me go back up here into the chat panel and see if I can answer some questions. I see a number of you have been asking, for the replay. Replay. A lot of requests for replay. Yeah, replay. And one thing I want to mention is that, somebody had said here, for example, $3,500, how many contracts? That's 36 contracts. And, you could sit there and go like, wow, that's a lot of contracts. That's a lot of commission. The one thing that I'm just going to pose to you out there is the benefit of potentially trading SPX. I need to talk to Tim about that because 10 XSP contracts equals one SPX contract. So there may be a situation where you go with, let's say, 3 SPX contracts as opposed to 30 XSP, and it would save you commission dollars. But those are things that I think Tim and Roger could help you with. But that's where my mind goes on that if I'm trading that large a size. Let's see. Okay, what about so questions came, what about, I think we talked about that, what if it's after 10 a.m., what if I can't get around to looking at things at 11 o'clock or so? Well, you can, once again, place a limit order, and look to get that filled. And if you are lifetime and you actually have the dashboard, it will show you on the dashboard an updated debit spread for you to consider based on the time that you can get in. Send me the replay. Let me see it. Okay, mention something about Yeah, it was mentioned that the ticker is XSP. That's the primary ticker. JD, if you're asking a question about trading the SPY, it's more liquid. It's not necessary in this program. We're talking about a one ticker price spread on this, but everything has been optimized around the XSP. I mentioned the SPX as a potential. It's a little bit more expensive, but if we're going to trade big size, if I'm going to put 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 down, I might want to try to save some commission. But I'm going to really ask Roger and Tim more about that. But the program is focused on XSP. Replay. Yeah, Rush says the SPY is assignable. Don't trade that. Yeah, XSP, SPX. Yeah, exactly. What are the tickers for the daily Ripper? I don't know. I'm assuming it's XSP. That's my assumption. But my best answer is I don't know. I just found about the Ripper today. And the thing I can just tell you is that for those that bought the program on Sunday, bought it Monday, which is yesterday, or buying it today before midnight, you're going to have access to the Ripper. For those of you that are saying, that's great, I'm excited, where is it? I don't see it in my members area. It hasn't been posted in those places yet. They're working out all those details. You'll find out about it tomorrow. Okay? But in the meantime, okay, let's not focus away from the key thing. You've got the 24-hour trade alerts. For those of you that are live, you've got the dashboard. You got enough to be certifiably dangerous, no doubt about it. So expiration the following day. Yeah, once again, if I take a look at this, the idea is that you're going to be getting into a trade you're going to enter a debit spread at 10 a.m. All right. And with the idea being that you're going to be out by 3 at the latest, 23 hours later, the following day. So that feels to me like it's one dated options. And if you get into a trade on a Friday, you'll be getting out on Monday. And if Monday is a holiday, you'll be getting out on Tuesday, the next trading day. But that's all, guys, it's all covered in the getting started guide. Every question you guys are asking that I see here, it's all, the getting started guide is excellent. And the recorded material that's there is excellent as well. David says, why do we exit at 3 p.m. by strike day? Why not let it expire? I don't know the answer to that question. I just know that Roger and Tim were very specific that if you're not hit your targets by 3 p.m., exit the trade. Do not let it expire. Gary says, what's the account size needed to make these trades? Well, if you consider that the actual contract size is $85, all right? And let me see. I think you could go ahead, folks, and I would say like a $1,000, $2,000 account. Remember, you never want to risk any more than 2% of your account on any given trade. So you can kind of do the math on that, on what the risk is. And the risk is averaged about 50% on these trades because they're managed. We rarely lose the entire amount. So if it's $85, you're looking at 40. If you're looking at 2% of 40, I don't know, my brain's not working well, do the math on that. But I think a $2,000 account or $1,500 account should be plenty. It's very small account friendly. Okay, so Gus says, what are the terms and conditions of the 14-day guarantee? Okay, you have 14 calendar days from your date of purchase to take full advantage of this program. And if for whatever reason, we don't care, if for whatever reason You want your money back, you call us and we will fund every penny of your investment, no questions asked, whether it's the 1 year, the 3 year, or the lifetime program. It is that straightforward. And then Green said, yes, a very important one of this answer from Raja. It was clear to not hold on. You can hold overnight. You're definitely holding overnight. You're getting into a trade today, you're holding overnight. It's possible that you can hit your profit target during the day. You get in at 10 o'clock and at 3 o'clock this afternoon, you're up 15%, boom, you're out. But more than likely, you're going to be holding it overnight. Yes, and Fern, yeah, absolutely. Any modifications or enhancements to this program, when you have lifetime, you're going to get I may put it this way. If it happens during your 1 year, you get those upgrades. If it happens during your 3 year, you get the upgrade. If you have a lifetime, you're going to get those enhancements free of charge. And Don says, okay, Don, appreciate your help on this. He says, by 3 p.m. exit, you decrease the loss because of remaining volatility. This is how to cut the loss of the trades that don't win. Excellent, Don. Thank you for that update. Yes, and the Ripper is included whether you go with the 1 year program, the 3 year program, or lifetime. You get the Ripper. Thank you guys for your help. But by the way, full disclosure, I am a um, is there anything newer than a newbie? That's where I am on options. All of my background, I've been day trading the futures markets, and I'm moving into options. And I have so many ways that I could go about doing this, but because I'm a futures trader, I like the idea of trading options, like zero dated and one dated options, because it kind of parallels a little bit how I like to trade the markets. So I'll be moving there. So if I don't know an answer to a question, I'll tell you, because I am not the option expert, and I do appreciate what people have shared here. Will this, Gus says, will this be added to the Stocks to Trade University portal? My understanding is yes, but Gus, once again, I have limited knowledge about that, but in the briefing that we got is that, everything that we've talked about today, for those people that are with Stocks to Trade, for example, that information will be in your portal. For those of you with the Trading Pub or with Roger, it will be in what's called our one-click members area. So they're going to be mirrored between the two. Great question from JD. Is the Ripper lifetime if we choose lifetime? That's a great question, buddy. I don't know. And I don't want to guess. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can get somebody on the horn on this. Okay. And I just did get a note from our team here, basically saying for those of us that are on Trading Pub, with one click, our support team saying to let members know that it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to get everything set up so that you have access to the Ripper. Okay. Oh, great. Don says, tell Gus it's already in the Stocks to Trade University portal on the left. So thank you for that once again, Don. And everything that I'm saying, Martha, it's, when you get the replay of this presentation, you'll get my closing summary and comments to the extent that that's valuable to you. Yeah, so the question that I'm looking to get answer from the team from is that if you get the 24-hour payout plan for a year and you get the Ripper, okay, because you ordered before midnight, you'll have it for a year. The question is, if you sign up for the 3-year program, do you get the Ripper for 3 years? If you sign up for lifetime, do you get the Ripper for lifetime? And I do not know, folks. I don't know if it's just 1 year or if it matches up. So I'm just posted the question on that. I don't know, and I don't want to guess. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, I don't want to hold anybody here any longer. If you've got a question like about, you can call 904-706-3539. You can ask them that question about, the Ripper and and its availability. But I did just find out for those, well, Don helped me out here. For those of you that are in Stocks to Trade University, the 24-hour payout plan and the Ripper, it's all there for you in your members area. What we're looking to do here, because we're two separate companies here, is we're working with Stocks to Trade to get all the access information in place so that those of you that are in Trading Pub are also going to be able to get access to that. So, all right, folks. Well, listen, I want to thank you all for coming today. Oh, yeah, let me see another question here. Yeah, so my understanding is for those of us that are Emerald or All Access, if you will, with Roger's programs on here, since this is not a trading pub or a prosperity pub product it's part of Stocks to Trade, but a great discount has been applied to these already heavily discounted prices for those that are All Access, and you'll have access to that. Yeah, and Celeste, I see your question. That's the question I don't have the answer to. I do know this for a fact. Everybody that buys the 24-hour payout, whether it's the 1 year, 3 year, or lifetime, you're going to get at least 1 year of the Ripper. At least. I can guarantee you that. The question I don't know the answer to is if you buy the 3-year program, do you get 3 years of Ripper for free? Or if you buy lifetime, do you get lifetime for Ripper for free? That I don't know. And for those of you that want to know, if you're Emerald or All Access or whatnot, call 904-706-3539. They know who you are, and they have an incredible discount on that for you. Okay, yeah, so there was a question here about when does the subscription start, okay? So this gets back to the fact that the program has put together sort of what we call a scholarship program. And what that basically says, what Tim and Roger have committed to, is that from your date of purchase, okay, your actual start time for the program doesn't start internally in our system. Let's say you're on a 1-year program. That 1 year will not start until the 24-hour payout plan has made $2,500 in its model portfolio. That would be like 4 winning trades of $500. At that point in time, that's when the time clock on your one subscription would start. So that's how that works. And the phone number here you can see on the screen, I hope, folks, 904-706-3539. All right. Well, gang, listen, things have kind of quieted down here. Thank you so much for coming today. Roger and Tim and Matt and I, we know your time is valuable, and we certainly hope that you've gotten benefit from this presentation. We know that you're here looking for an edge in the market. And I think when Tim and Roger got together and they basically honed and refined this strategy along with some of the platforms that are necessary to identify these opportunities. I think that meets the strict definition of an edge because what they're looking at, for example, and this program is an alert service where they are in fact personally curating every trade for you, giving you exactly what you need to enter the trade and specific instructions on how to exit it. Anytime you can have somebody that has the background and experience of Tim and Roger, if you take that into consideration, and they're hand feeding you trades every day, plus provide you with an enormous amount of education around how these trades are found, how to leverage them, how to manage them, etc. In my opinion, that's an edge in the market. So if you're looking for something where you're basically going to be placing a trade a day around 10 a.m., okay, with a very straightforward debit entry. And by the way, it's the same ticker, it's the same debit spread. You know, you start to do that 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times in a row, all your concerns about debit spreads go away. And by the way, once you learn how to do a debit spread with this program, you can do a debit spread trading any stock that's out there. It's all the same, and it's an awesome way to trade the market. So if you're used to doing directional trades, like you're buying calls or buying puts, and you're just going like, man, that's just too expensive. I can't afford that. Use a debit spread, and you'll know how to do that. So that knowledge transfers. Okay. So anyway, with that, folks, thank you so much for coming. It's 3:33, so we got about, another 30 minutes left in the trading session. If you're placing any trades this afternoon, I hope it's according to your plan. If not, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 12 o'clock for the next edition of the VIP Trade Room. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.